from Dozer Park in downtown Peoria, Illinois. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Valley on ESPN. Today's matchup, it's the I-74 rivalry. The Bradley Braves hosting the Illinois State Redbirds in the first of a three-game series. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Snell along with Cody Roskins, set to bring you the play-by-play of two teams that are trying to get some momentum for the upcoming Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Can't win it, but they need some movement upwards.
That's right, Dave, and there's no better time to get started than against your in-state rival. Both these teams will be throwing their aces out onto the mound today and trying to correct some wrongs they've gotten themselves into here in this little bit of a slide for both teams.
Jacob Kisting is looking for his first victory of the season. He goes for Bradley, the right-hander, and his opponent will be the right-hander as well, Derek Salata, going. So it's a Friday. It's great weather, and it's the first of three with these old-time rivals. Here's Cody, hello, with the starting lineups for the Redbirds.
Yeah, Dave, first four. Bradley Braves defense. We see the battery mates of Delgado and Kisting out there. You see the batting order for Illinois State over to your left. Robinson, Rasmussen, Kubo, Pasella, Morris, Nicholson, Strong, Gaither, Lawrence, and Salata will be the starting nine plus pitcher. For the Redbirds, defensively, Bradley will rock with Vogel in center. Delgado, like we said, will be behind the plate. Huseman in right, Chatterton at second, Bryan at first, Harris at short, Lucky in left, and McGinnis at third. And, of course, Jacob Kisting, the ace. He's pitched a lot of games so far this season, Dave. Looking for win number one, like you were saying.
And you saw Shai Robinson step into the batter's box, and here we go as the game gets underway at 11:02. Why are we playing this early? Because the Peoria Chiefs play tonight, and it's called strike, and we're underway. Peoria Chiefs play at this ballpark. That's the high A team of the St. Louis Cardinals, and so tomorrow will also be an 11 o'clock game, and at 10 o'clock on Sunday. So this is game one, and there you see the right-hander, and his next delivery is high and away. Keasting is looking for his first win. He's a sophomore from Verona, Wisconsin. 6'5", he's a big lad, and 195. Next pitch is a called strike by their home plate umpire. That's Jason Hartick. At third base is Preston Chambers and Kyle Klink working at first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're just underway, and the next pitch is grounded foul back to the screen. Robinson hasn't played a whole lot for the Redbirds, but he's really quick. And the next delivery just misses with a fastball out of the zone. He's from Flossmoor, Illinois, freshman. He's their shortstop. Hitting .208, on-base percentage of .389, so he hasn't had a great deal of playing time. He gets to start here today and fouls that one off, and will stay at 2-2.
Yeah, Jacob Kisting, a guy who leads Bradley in strikeouts, looks to really trying to set that early momentum. Gotten a little rocky his last couple of outings, and I'm sure some stable footing here in innings 1 through 3 would be a great start for that.
He was terrific as a freshman. The next delivery is a breaking pitch, misses, and it's a full count. It'll be Robinson, Rasmussen, and Kubo. First three for the Redbirds here in the first inning. Payoff pitch is popped up, foul, and it's out of play. Out of the lineup today for Bradley for the second straight game is Connor O'Brien with an injury. And that takes a big bat out of Bradley's lineup, and both Delgado and Adam Bryant are playing today. All four. And it's a leadoff walk as Robinson, behind in the count, comes back and draws the base on balls. As far as Keasting is concerned, his strikeout to walk is 49 strikeouts and now 29 walks. So it's unusual. And then the left-handed hitter, Augie Rasmussen, comes to the plate. Left-handed hitter, 5'10", 190 from Blair, Nebraska, and he fouls that one off. He went to Iowa Western Community College. That's in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, over by Council Bluffs. Go Reavers.
287 hitter. He has 4 homers and 19 runs batted in. As far as Robinson, Stolen bases, well, he hasn't tried yet. That pitch is outside and evens the count at 1-1. So Keesting throwing a lot of pitches here. The first two hitters.
And one ground ball, though, can solve that. Bradley doesn't turn a ton of double plays, at least at this point in the season, but straining one over at second or at first, not the end of the world.
And there's a breaking pitch gets in. And Rasmussen is in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rasmussen with 4 homers on the year. Struck out 26 times, walks 10. And he makes that another strikeout as Rasmussen goes down. And after being behind in the count, Keesting gets his first strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up the third place hitter, their first baseman, Shaden Kubo. He's a right-handed hitter. They got kind of a new lineup today in this first game. There's a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike.
Take a look at his numbers at this point in the season. 21 RBIs, not bad. Just for a man in the 2-hole spot. Excuse me, in that 3-hole spot.
He's 306, and he leads the team in hitting, and he takes that one outside. He evens the count at 1-1. He's been leading off some in this season with their head coach Steve Holm, who's in his 5th year. 98 and 121, his mark. Wally Grantzer. And there's a foul back. His assistants, Derek Parola. Artie Spears, he's the pitching coach rather for the Redbirds. There you see the lead at first base by Robinson. Gets a good lead over there. And the 1-2, that's high and away. Evens the count at 2-2.
It's not a bad pitch, though, Dave. If they think he's going to run there, put him more elevated, catcher doesn't have to pop quite as hard to try and make a throw over to second.
I'll tell you about the other league games today. There are 3. Southern and Indiana State, the 2 teams at the top of the league, play this weekend, and they begin tomorrow. There's a foul out of play. It holds at 2-2. Indiana State, and we talked before about their win over Vanderbilt. They're 11-1, and they're the real deal, and they are hosting the Missouri Valley Conference tournament.
Yeah, it seems to be all coming together for the Sycamores. Of course, they'll come see Bradley here in just about a week's time, so Bradley will get ready for a 3-game set against them at Dozer Park. But Bradley's had some up and down moments this season. They do have one of Southern Illinois' 2 losses on the season, so they're very capable of beating the top half of the league. So far, they just haven't been able to do it very consistently.
3-2 as the fastball's outside. We'll see if the runner goes at first base. Robinson, who has not attempted one, but he's got some wheels. Throw to first, and the runner back. First baseman is Adam Bryant. He's mostly behind the plate, but he gets the first base call today. The injured Connor O'Brien. 20th pitch of the inning for the right-hander. Not going, and the pitch is swung on and missed. He swung at ball 4. 2 strikeouts in a row. As Kubo strikes out. And that's a walk and 2 strikeouts in the inning. And Daniel Pichella, the left fielder, comes to the plate from Mundelein, Illinois. Chicago suburb. Left-handed hitter. And strike 1. Pichella is 270. His batting average. A couple of homers and 13 runs batted in. He's got a good eye. 25 strikeouts and 9 walks. There's a foul back to the screen. And he's in the hole 0-2.
Yeah, this has been a good start for Kiston. Of course, he saw that leadoff walk, but Come on, back-to-back strikeouts. Now got the next man up, down 0-2. He seemed to settle in.
Freshmen, and they have some freshmen in the lineup today for Illinois State. And the 0-2 as Keesting tries to strike out the sides. That's a good play by Delgado, the catcher, and keeps the runner at first base as he had to go behind the left-handed box and made a stop there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Bradley will play with their fair share of underclassmen at times. Of course, Easton Harris from Washington is a freshman. He'll be over at shortstop today for the Braves.
Keesting has 4 wild pitches on the season, and here's the runner going, and it's fouled back out of play. He might have had the base stolen.
And definitely got a good jump. Again, I think Illinois State's just looking for that first big early run. That seems to be the Achilles heel for Bradley. If they get behind the 8 ball in the first handful of innings, it's really tough for them to claw back. They do, however, out of their 11 wins this season, just under half of them have come from when trailing in the 7th inning or later.
1-2, and there is a base hit into center field. First of the game as Pichella gets the knock to center field. And there's runners at first and second now, and brings up Judah Morris, the designated hitter. Morris is playing in his 7th game. .222 hitter. And you see at first base Pichella, who battled and got the base knock. And Morris, the designated hitter. Big lad. And he takes a strike at the knees.
And that's when I think Kisting's really at his best. If he can keep it low in the zone, induce ground balls, that's really where he makes his money. And it enables him to go with the breaking pitches away, find his strikeouts.
3 RBIs. He looks like it could be a linebacker or a tight end. Next pitch is a strike 2.
See if Kisting can find a way to get out of it. He's not 2 straight hitters. He'll have down 0-2. First one got away from him. See how he dials it up here.
Robinson takes his lead at second, first and second, and that's outside. 1-2. Vogel will lead it off for Bradley in the first inning. He's played in every game. Average has dropped a bit as of late, leading the Valley in hitting for the longest time. Next pitch is outside, 2-2. Cody's gotten 2 ahead with 2 strikes and then seems to lose the strike zone.
Yeah, I think more of that is just more worried about the batter making contact. But if you keep it low, like more often than not, they'll roll it over and you can kind of just throw it over to first and be fine with it. But Kisting here trying to find a way to end this half inning.
And swing and a miss. And he strikes out the side in the first inning. For Illinois State, they get no runs. They have 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. Bradley comes to bat in the first. No score. Nice to have you with us. This is the Valley on ESPN.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. That's the value you can expect from Toyota.
Ready, set, go.
Bradley comes to bat in the first inning against Derek Shalata. He's from Westchester, Illinois, senior, 6'3", 210. 2-4 his record, a 3.02 earned run average. This is he started every game for them, giving up 16 runs all earned. Strikeout to walk is 59-16. Strikeouts to walks, 44 2/3. Giving up 4 home runs, and his batting average against is .240. Where's number 51? And Ryan Vogel will check into the batter's box. Junior from Metamora, Illinois. Center fielder, 5'10", 170. We had a tornado last night, touchdown not too far from Metamora, Illinois, and Germantown Hills, just about 6 miles away.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme when you and I get together to do a game that the night before there's been some inclement weather.
Beautiful day today, though, and it's a ball one to Vogel. 386. His average has gone down in the last week. He takes that one for ball two. 4 homers, 22 runs batted in. The stolen base is in his arsenal. He swings and misses on that one. He is 14 of 19. He was thrown out twice against Valparaiso in the last weekend, and that led the way for one of their wins. There's a foul back and evens a count at 2-2.
Yeah, but that Valpo series really turned Valpo's season around, because coming into that game, Bradley had the half-game lead in the standings, and that 3-game sweep really set him behind the ball.
And a breaking pitch and a dandy, and that's a swing and a miss. And strikeout number 1 for the right-hander. That ball really broke.
Yeah, like it fell off the edge of a table. Just started up by his eyes and finished down by his belly button. It's tough to pick up on as a hitter.
Mason Breabach, the young freshman, takes at the knees a fastball for a strike. Mason is from Chesterfield, Missouri. That's a suburb of St. Louis. And he's the designated hitter today in the 2-hole. Next pitch is a called strike, 0-2. So a good start for this right-hander. Breabach has 2 homers, hitting .237, and that's a line drive to the first baseman. Hit hard but out. And 2 up, 2 down. And where Keesting had a lot of pitches in the first inning, there's 2 down and there are only 8 here. So the Braves are going up swinging.
Yeah, it's still a good swing, though. You get a breaking pitch, it kind of hangs in the middle of the zone. Go ahead and take a tear at it, especially with the underclassman Bradley has in the lineup. That's the kind of aggressiveness you want to see early.
Logan Delgado, the left-handed hitter, he's catching today. He DHs some, and he takes the ball there. Delgado is a junior from Antioch, Illinois. 6 foot, 225, has a homer, and 327 his batting average. Takes that for a ball two. If you had a most improved player on Bradley's team, he's in the batter's box now.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's him, and then, I'm not sure you're going to put anybody else in the ballpark next to him with that amount of production he's had as they retire the side.
10-pitch inning. And a good one for the right-hander, Derek. And we're scoreless after 1. Getting some sun here at Dozer Park on a beautiful day after last night's storms in the area. Quite a first inning, Cody, for Shalata. He was brilliant in only 10 pitches.
Yeah, he was super efficient with his pitch count. He had one that kind of got shelled, a breaking pitch, but that's what you get when you get a good defense behind you, make the play for your pitcher, and now Kissing's going to have to come back out. Has 3 strikeouts already, left 2 on, but I think he's settled in quite well.
Strong will follow Nichols and Gaither here in the second inning for Illinois State, who had 2 runners left at the first inning. They have the only hit in the game, obviously. And here's Greg Nichols. Number 17, left-hand hitter, comes to the plate. 256 batting average, 4 homers and 18 RBIs. And off-speed pitch goes in for a strike. Nichols from California, Roseville, California, went to Sacramento City College, the junior, and he hits it to center field in the second hit of the game as Nichols gets a stroke into center, the second base hit off of Keesting. And that'll be Nick Strong, their catcher, coming to the dish. And we'll see if they get the hit and run or they try to move the runner.
Yeah, so that's now 2 straight innings, although it just being the second inning that the leadoff man for said inning had gotten across. Last time out, Keesting struck out the next 2 batters before surrendering the next 2 on. See if he finds a little bit of rhythm here.
Strong at the plate, number 29, and he hits that one hard, but foul down the line in left. 244 hitter. He has a home run, a couple of doubles, 7 RBIs for this season. Both teams with similar records in the league and overall, swing and a miss. Illinois State 10-21, so are the Braves. Illinois State's coming off a win as they won against Northern Illinois in DeKalb, while Bradley lost at 6-1 at Iowa on Wednesday night. The 0-2 pitch, and it's inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Again, good pitchers count. Kisting typically likes to go away from the batter here, so maybe a breaking pitch to the outside or something off speed. I'd be shocked if he sends anything over the heart of the plate.
Nichols, by the way, is 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Takes his lead, got a good lead. And the next pitch is inside. And once again, we see from 0-2 to 2-2.
Yeah, that 1-2 count is starting to be that in-between pitch that really decides the fate of the batters. A lot of times if they get it to 2-2, more often than not, they've gotten aboard whether a walk or a hit.
See if he throws a breaking pitch here on 2-2. Nope, fastball up high, 3-2. And we'll see if Nichols might be running here on a 3-2 count. There's nobody down here in the second inning for Illinois State. They've had 3 base runners now. Not going, and the pitch is fouled back to the screen. So the count holds at 3-2. J.P. Gaither is on deck. The Redbirds' right fielder. There you see Bradley's first baseman, Adam Bryant. 3-2, and there's a well-hit ball to center field, but it's right at Ryan Vogel. And so Kisting wins that battle, 1 down, with Nichols holding at first base. And J.P. Gaither comes to the plate. He's played, this is only his 2nd start in his 12th game, and he has no batting average. He's 0 for 7, has scored a run, and that likely was as a result of his only walk. There's a pitch low. Ball 1. 1 on, 1 out for the Redbirds. Gaither from Wisconsin. 6'2", 180. Solidly built young man. And here's the 1-0. Here's a ground ball in the hole to right field. Huseman is up with the ball. Runner holds at second base. 2nd hit in the inning. That brings up the 9th place hitter. 1st and 2nd for the Redbirds. And Luke Lawrence, their 3rd baseman, comes to the plate. Lawrence is a pretty consistent regular. 397. His on-base percentage. It's a 286 hitter, so this is a pretty dangerous 9-hole hitter. Left-hander takes a strike. Runners at 1st and 2nd. It's the 2nd time in as many innings that the Redbirds have had a runner in scoring position. To 42 pitches already. And only 1 down for Kisting, who checks the runner and delivers. And there's a fastball, and it's fouled back. And again, an 0-2 count.
Yeah, like we said, if this count runs to 1-2, you kind of look for Kisting to maybe change it up and try and get that put-away pitch, because the last couple times it's run 1-2, it's gone to 2-2, sometimes 3-2, and more often than not, that's maybe right what the hitter wants.
No balls, 2 strikes. Delgado looks at the indicator on his glove. And here comes the 0-2. Good swing, but fouled back off to the left again. You know, Bradley, you can't tell because most of the guys, either for Bradley, have hats on or their batting helmets, but they're all shaved. And we'll tell you about that and why. It's something that's a tradition. Here's a pop-up. It's into left field. Cole Lucky makes the grab. And there's 2 down, and the runners are still at first and second. And that flips the lineup and brings Shy Robinson, who walked and went to second on the Pichella base hit, but was left stranded. So Robinson comes to the plate with an RBI opportunity. And the first is a breaking pitch, got the corner, the outside corner. It's amazing that he gets ahead in the counts and then
Just somehow loses a little bit of traction.
0-1 to number 1. Well hit ball down the line. It is gone! Out of the ballpark, a line shot, a 3-run homer for Shy Robinson. That is his first home run and first RBIs of the season. And all of a sudden, the Redbirds are up 3-0. What a bolt that was.
Yeah, it got out in a hurry, Dave. Just hugging that left field line, goes all 330 down that third base line, and Kissing, I'm sure, not what he wanted to do, but back on the way, trying to work quickly again.
So the Redbirds up by the score of 3-0, and that's a surprise. Robinson, who hits the line drive, and it just kept going. There wasn't any doubt about that. It wasn't a majestic home run. It was a line drive over the wall in left field. And here's a ground ball and a base hit as it goes by Adam Bryan. And so Rasmussen gets a base knock. 4 hits in the inning. And the Redbirds have a 3-0 lead. And Shaden Kubo comes to the plate. He struck out the first time, so did Rasmussen. So Illinois State has made an impact, and here comes the pitching coach. And your Werner, and he's rather animated as he talks to the battery.
Yeah, and again, this has been one of those things that Bradley's tried to harp on. Last season, of course, it was well documented the amount of injuries they had, and the pitching staff worked through essentially the entire season with only 7 available arms. So now this year, they finally get some arms in, they get some healthy arms, and now it's about growing them, and there's going to be some growing pains like we've seen. Again, Kisting comes in as the ace for Bradley, but he's only a sophomore.
Had a terrific season a year ago. That, by the way, was the 7th home run that he has allowed. And Robinson gets his first RBIs of the season and first home run of the season, and it was a big one. A 2-out, 3-run homer. And the right-handed hitter, Kubo. And here's a runner going, and he is out at second base. Attempting to steal as Rasmus is gunned down by Logan Delgado. And that retires a side, but not before Illinois State gets 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the second, Redbirds strike for 3 and lead 3-0, and this is the Valley on ESPN. We're back in the bottom half of the second inning. Augie Rasmussen, who was thrown out, he is a stolen base guy. He was 14 of 16 and was thrown out only the 3rd time this season. There's a breaking pitch to the leadoff hitter. That's Carson Huseman. Huseman is the right fielder for the Braves. He's from Hanna, Indiana. 6'1", 205, hitting .214, 6 homers. So his batting average isn't great, but he's a power hitter. And it's 1-2, and he swings and misses. The ball gets away. And the throw to first base is in time to get Huseman his second strikeout. He struck out Vogel in the first inning. And Jackson Chatterton comes to the plate for Bradley. He's from nearby Dunlap, Illinois, 6'1", 180. .213 hitter, 2 homers. And the pitch to the left-hander is inside. He's 8 of 9 on stolen bases, so he's pretty good when he gets on there. And here's a pop-up. That'll stay in play. No, just over the top of the dugout. So 1 ball and a strike. Switch hitter Jackson Chatterton. He's had 23 hits on the season and 23 runs. He's got the most. There's a brilliant breaking pitch. And it's a called strike. Derek Shalata from Westchester, Illinois. Another breaking pitch is fouled. Over toward the right. In the on-deck circle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-run homer. The top half of this inning. And a swing and a miss, and Chatterton goes down swinging, his second strikeout in a row, and the third for the ISU hurler. You see Chatterton, and just couldn't catch up with it. Derek Shalata has been treated to a 3-0 lead here. And Adam Bryan, the first baseman, comes to the plate. Another left-handed hitter against the right-hander, and he fouls that one back. Bryan catches. He's from Springfield, Ohio. He's at first base for the injured Connor O'Brien here. Hitting .317, homer and 4 RBIs. And there's a ball down the line and foul. And it's 0-2.
Last thing Bradley really needs to have happen here is watch Illinois State put 3 on the board and then have a quick half inning of their own.
Very economic start here for the right-hander. Breaking pitch just misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Easton Harris, the young freshman from Washington, is in the on-deck circle. For Elvis Dominguez, that pitch is inside, 2-2.
Just getting a board here for Bradley would be big. That first base runner of the game on. See if he can get him over and maybe get a bloop.
2-2 is a called third strike. He struck out the side. And quite a couple of innings for Derek Shalata. We're through 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left for Bradley. Cody's got the third. When we come back, this is the Valley on ESPN.
Welcome back to Dozer Park in downtown Peoria, Illinois. It's the I-74 rivalries. We get set for the top of the third. Illinois State had 3 come across on a 3-run shot. Top half of the second. And Jacob Kisting will try and settle things down here in the third. He'll take on Kubo for Illinois State to lead off said third inning. There's foul ball for strike 1.
Who was at the plate when Rasmussen was gunned down by Logan Delgado to end the second inning.
And that one's outside and low, so 1-1. Does have a strikeout so far in his only other plate appearance in the contest. Kissing. Takes a big deep breath. Kicks and fires. That one same spot, same call. It's 2-1. Again, a big part of these Illinois State bats and their production so far today, Dave. It's been patient on the first handful of pitches, and so far they've been able to work some favorable counts.
And they've got a lot of youngsters in the lineup for the first time.
Now a 2-2 count. That's got to be encouraging for the Redbirds. Bradley also playing with their fair share of underclassmen. Of course, Harris out there along with Lucky, Breedenbach. Illinois Illinois State going with a, could say it, a green batting order. As the 2-2 on the way from Kisting. Runs inside. The A ball.
We talk about youngsters. Robinson, freshman, 3-run homer that hadn't had a home run or an RBI for the season.
They got out in a hurry. Must have had some place to be. And the 3-2. This one grounded up the middle. Be fielded by Harris. Back over to Bryant, and there's one away. So a quick first out there. Good job. Jacob Kisting get out of it. He's had a higher pitch count through the first 2 innings. A big part of him is when they get that 1-2 count, 0-2 count, he hasn't been able to quite put away anybody yet. Let's see another look. Good job by the freshman. Over at shortstop. Going back to the part-time first baseman. This one shot out into right field. Going, and well got it onto the street. An absolute towering shot for Pasella, and Illinois State out to a 4-0 lead. Dave, I hope my apartment's okay out there in right field.
That would have been on Jefferson. Would it not? Or Adams? Adams Street.
I mean, there was no doubt.
Pasella is 2 for 2. And another home run given up by Keasting. And the second one today. An 8 for a year.
That'll bring up Morris. He will come to the plate for the second time. Struck out his last time up. And all of a sudden, Illinois State pouring it back on again. So it's now a 4-0 advantage for the Redbirds. That one's high and tight. 1-1 count.
They scored 18 runs at Northern Illinois the other night. And an 18-11 slugfest win.
Well, and Bradley and Illinois State have very comparable schedules. They've each seen Iowa, Illinois. This one's tagged, going out to center field. Vogel's on his horse. This will reach the wall. Turning for second. And Morris will slide in feet first. And now there's a man on second with one down.
Well, that's their third extra base hit. 2 homers and a double with one down in the 3rd inning.
So the line keeps moving for Illinois State as Kisting now up to 60 pitches here in the 3rd. Trying to find a way to shut it down. Nichols, the second baseman, up to bat next. He's come across to score and had one hit earlier in the contest. Walked by Delgado, so it's 1-0.
I was in St. Louis the other day, and Baumgartner was pitching. This is about.
How would it?
It was very similar.
Baumgartner just recently DFA'd by the Diamondbacks. This one shot out into left field. Lucky making a charge on it. Instead, ranging over his Harris. It'll drop. So that'll be looks like a arcing single when it's all said and done. So first and second, runner from second doesn't advance.
3rd hit in a row. Nichols is 2 for 2 now. And he'll take it. It was in no man's land. Nobody could get it.
So runners on first and second. And on second is Morris. Nichols on first. And Kisting. It's a good ground ball away from getting out of it, but it's Bradley defense. And the last inning and a half or so is kind of rocked back and forth.
62 pitches and not finished 2 in the 3rd innings. That's a lot of pitches.
Strong up here. Breaking pitch just hovers around the top of the zone. 0-1 to Kisting.
Strong flew out to Ryan Vogel in center field the first time up there.
And we touched on it in the opening. Anything can happen when these two get together. And this one swung on sharply out to left and fouled off. So we'll do it.
That got Jefferson. But foul. That was well hit.
So the 0-2 coming from Kisling. This would be a big second out. fouled back again. So Strong, again, he's catcher by trade today for Illinois State. Trying to find a way to at least move the runners over, or do a little better, try and find another extra base hit. They've got a couple of them here early. 0-2, Kisting looks back, checks the runner. Morris really having his way with him. Swung on and missed. Strike three. A beautiful breaking pitch down and away from Jacob Kisting. So the sophomore notches another strikeout. Now there's 2 down and 2 on.
Struck out the side in the first. That's his first one since. What it does, Cody, is it takes away that bunting game and running game of Bradley when you're down 4 runs.
Now J.P. Gaither up. Well outside. 1-0.
Stopped by Delgado again. We talked about his improvement offensively. Defensively, he's been very good as well.
Yeah, he's definitely shown some of the most growth among anybody in a Bradley uniform this season. Shown a lot of improvement at the plate. He's become the best, if not the second best hitter in the Bradley lineup, depending on what category you look at, with O'Brien or Vogel usually having an edge in 1 or 2 of them.
There you see the shaved heads, and that's because of Bradley's raising money for Versus Cancer, and they've done that every season for as long as I can remember.
I believe that dates back the last anywhere from 8 to 10 years going back. They are one of the top fundraising teams. They recognized last year as being the highest grossing team in terms of money raised. This year was just flirting with $20,000 that they raised for the Versus Cancer charge, and of course pediatric cancer in the area, and the local hospitals take great use of that. So Coach Dominguez does a great job of getting the support of his team to do it, and fortunately, normally it's more of a spectacle. We get people and some cameras out there, but this time due to rain they had to move it inside as the 2-2's fouled back, and it's always a good event. Players love it. It's a nice little thing they get to do, and brings out a lot of support in the community, and between the communities, Illinois State, and of course Bradley, Peoria, and Normal, it means a great deal.
They've done it and raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's a great fundraiser.
And the 2-2, again, fouled back, so the battle continues here for J.P. Gaither and Jacob Kisting. There you see some of the free admittance, the Birds catching one in early today. I'm sure they'll be back for the Chiefs game later this afternoon.
Helping the home plate umpire, no doubt.
Hopefully he's not tipping any pitches out there. And swung on, missed, fouled back into the glove. So that's another strikeout for Kisting. That makes 5 as he sits it down. And Illinois State will carry the 4-0 advantage when we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Bradley up to bat next. Welcome back. Downtown Peoria Dozer Park. We'll show you some highlights of Illinois State's long ball offense. You see the line drive by Robinson earlier in the contest, put him out 3-0, and then in the last half inning, a tectonic shot out into right field. Got all the way onto the street and cleared the concourse to give ISU a 4-0 advantage. And now Easton Harris will try and get things moving here for the Bradley lineup that, Dave, to this point hasn't had much traction.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts.
The 1-0. Shot foul. It's now 1-1. Salata has had a good start to the contest. There you take a peek at Easton Harris's numbers. Of course, he's a freshman. Local product. A lot of Mid-Illini Conference schools represented up and down this Bradley roster. He is one of them. From Washington, Illinois, the Panthers product.
Had a real good high school career, finishing in the top group of the state of Illinois.
And I would say 2-1 count to the young freshman. Although he's had some fair time on the diamond this season. He's pitched a little bit here and there. He's a two-way player. That one is fouled back, so he does literally a little bit of everything, Dave. He can
he's had an injury, and he's been back now for about 3 weeks, but spent a lot of time. He was a starter earlier in the year.
And the 2-2 to Harris. Can't quite bite the outside edge, so it's now 3-2. Again, this would be a big boost for Bradley if they could get that first base runner across. And the young freshman showing a good plate appearance here. 3-2 low in the zone, and they'll say you got him. He threw the bat looking back. So mark it up as a strikeout for Illinois State. Easton Harris not thrilled with that call.
No, he wasn't, and that's the fourth strikeout in a row. It's a lot of just really dealing. Got a borderline call there.
He's looking comfortable as Cole Lucky will come to the plate for his first appearance. He's retired everybody he has seen today. No base runners yet for Bradley. One down here in the bottom of the third. Breaking pitch swung on and missed by Lucky. He's in left field today. He's now finding himself down in the count 0-2.
His breaking ball has been brilliant.
See it again here. Same result. Fanned on and missed. And Salata is just rolling through this Bradley lineup. He is now gone. Excuse me, he's now one batter away from retiring everybody through.
Yes, three strikeouts in the last inning. Had one in the first and the first two here. And McGinnis comes to the plate.
One's inside and tight. And so Cal McGinnis, who's normally moved all around the infield, he'll be at third base today, sophomore. You take a look at his numbers. This one swung on, shot out into the gap, and it will get down. He's going to turn and burn at first, digging for second, and he is in there. Cal McGinnis with the double.
His fourth of the year, two-base hit. And Bradley's ninth place hitter is their first base runner and first base knock.
I will take credit for that one, Slaughter. That's the broadcaster's jinx. You get 8 through the order. I say something when you get to the 9-man, and he's now aboard at second base and brings up Bradley's top end of the order with Ryan Vogel. Again, the Swiss Army knife player for the Braves. Well outside, doesn't break far enough away for McGinnis to advance. It's a 1-0 count. See what Vogel can't do here. See McGinnis taking a sizable leadoff second. A run on pretty much anything close here, as it's 2-0. It'd be a big moment in the game, Dave, if Bradley could scratch back a run.
Just to get back in it. To get something.
And the 2-0. Quick glance back. He'll check again. Pumps and fires. And that's outside. So now a 3-0, the first of the day for a Bradley hitter. And could Ryan Vogel orchestrate Bradley's first walk? Slaughter trying to find the zone. That one will bite that low corner, 3-1. Again, McGinnis will be running at second with anything close, but with Vogel's speed, they could easily swap places on just a single. Glancing back once more, the 3-1. Swung on and cut back foul, so now 3-2, and Slaughter's worked out of a 3-0 hole.
Be interesting to see what pitch comes here. He's been so effective with that curveball.
And the 3-2. Again, he has been rolling today. Seen now 10, has retired 9. Breaking pitch fouled back. That's one of the few times a Bradley batter has gotten a bat on that big Uncle Charlie curveball.
Yeah, I think he was guessing that time that he would throw it, and he just fouled it back.
And the 3-2 again coming. Vogel has done a good job of at least working up the pitch count. There's roughly 20-some-odd pitches between the first two innings. And that one's outside, wasn't it? Bat from Vogel, and so he'll take a trot to first base. And now there's 2 on and 2 down. And now Bradley's just a long ball away from getting back into it.
Mason Breidenbach hit the ball hard in the first inning, but right at the first baseman. So the left-hander against the right-hander.
See how much he trusts that breaking ball. It's been very good to this point. Slaughter checking McGinnis at second. He's got a freshman at the plate. outside, 1-0. So Bradley's done a good job. Last 3 or 4 batters, Dave, getting ahead in the count, 1-0.
Bredenbach has a couple of home runs. Right now, he'd settle just for a base hit and get that run in as McGinnis takes his lead.
And 1-0. Finds that bottom part of the zone. Good spot from Salata. It's now 1-1. And so Bredenbach gets a glance back at his dugout. Receives the signal. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Now 1-2 in a big spot for the freshman.
He's got some swing and miss. He's had 2 called strikes and one Harris wasn't thrilled about.
Big pitch, 1-2. Swung on, shot towards left. It'll drop off the third baseman's glove. Rounding the bases, going home, and Bradley will scratch one across. A tough play by Lawrence at third. Maybe lost it just a touch in the midday sun, but Bradley now with runners on the corners and 2 down.
It's not how far you hit them, it's where you hit them, and that gets Bradley on the board. And that for Bredenbach is his 7th RBI and scores the run. And that gets the run back from the home run hit in the top half of the inning.
And that'll bring up Logan Delgado. But how about the heads-up play of Robinson over at short to race over and field that ball and save one more run from coming across? Another big breaking ball. That one is outside of touch, so Delgado stares at a 1-0 count. Another lefty. Again, these 2 rivals going tit for tat pretty much every time they see each other. It's a throwback to first. It's a series that dates back to 1901. And between the two, Dave, it's only 5 games that separate them. 118 wins for Illinois State, 113 wins for Bradley.
He could flip a couple of times in this series. But ISU has a leg up in this one, but Bradley has the tying run at the plate, and Delgado does have home run power.
Bottom of the third, runners on the corners. Delgado takes a hack at one. This one will go foul, looks like into foul territory, and there is that elusive third out for Illinois State. Bradley scratches one across off of a blue pit. Redbirds will be back up when we head to the 4th inning. Redbirds out in front, 4-1. Peoria, Illinois. Illinois State surrenders 1 run that they scored back in the top of the 3rd. They'll now be back up as we get set for the 4th. And Jacob Kisting looking to hold down a scoreless inning here. And Dave, it's been kind of an up and down start for the young man.
It has been. Illinois State's been very patient. He'd get ahead in the count and then lose them, and then they've had just he's had 1 walk in the game. It's been the long ball that's plagued him in this contest. And they'll be at the top of the order after Lawrence gets through here. See what the left-hander does against the right-hander.
Third baseman Lawrence up at the plate. That one bites the outside. It's now 0-1. He was in a spot to end that last half inning for Bradley's offense before lost track of the ball in the sun and let it drop. One's well outside. Misrelease there from Kisting. It's now 1-1.
Kisting with a high socks.
One of the few that does it anymore.
Red Sox.
And the 1-1 from Jacob Kisting. That one is high now, 2-1. And Dave, last half inning we were talking about the I-74 rivalry, but maybe nobody's seen more of it than you have from a multiple of perspectives. Obviously with men's basketball, you've done your fair share of baseball. I mean, what kind of your thoughts on the rivalry?
I think it's great. It's too bad that the teams are struggling this season and there isn't more on the line than it usually is between these two. Illinois State has hosted the Valley Tournament several times, and Bradley has done fair. They haven't won one there, but nevertheless, that's a great venue, and so is this one. This is the Class A, High A team of the St. Louis Cardinals. So they both have great ballparks and usually get very good talent from all over the country.
The 3-2 coming away from Jacob Kisting. That one swung on, shot past the second baseman in Chatterton, and that will roll to Vogel in the outfield. So runner aboard here as the order flips back over to the top here for Illinois State.
So another base knock, and now they have the top of the order.
And so runner on first, and that will bring up Robinson, who had a 3-run home run earlier in the contest. That'll be the 80th pitch coming from Jacob Kisting. On his high 1-0. Today we were just talking about the recruiting classes that these teams bring in. Both take a great pride in recruiting Central Illinois.
They've had some, I know Illinois State had a real good pitcher from Central Illinois about 5-6 years ago.
Now a 1-1 coming from Kisting. Of course, Bradley recruits up and down Central Illinois. Essentially follow the river to St. Louis. It's where Bradley's recruiting trail usually leads. They've got a number of talents from the Mid-Illini. Of course, Dunlap, Metamora, Washington, all well represented. This one shot into the outfield, going back towards Vogel, and he makes a ranging catch towards the warning track.
That was smoke too. He didn't pull the ball that time. Had he have pulled the ball, that would have been like an instant replay from the second inning.
Just not as out in front. Take another look at this one, as this is a replay of the single earlier in the inning. Gets past Chatterton.
Vogel is really good in center field. He made an outstanding play there, going back on a hard hit ball. He didn't have much time to get there.
Augie Rasmussen, he'll tattoo one into the gap. It'll drop shortly. Doesn't get much of a roll, but it'll go first to third, trying to extend it into a double. Ball scoots away. He will be safe at second, and it looks like there may be a Brave down. So now second and third as the umpires will call time, and not a good feeling there from Jackson Chatterton as he got rolled up on.
He didn't, he wasn't able to make the tag because he would have had the runner going to second base, but the ball was dislodged from the glove, and he's hurting a bit. Here's the play at second base. The ball was there. The tag was probably on the back foot, and he goes down. He may have...
And it'll be safe at second. Again, so that will go down as a double to right field for Rasmussen. Shai Kubo up to bat next. Spears one, nearly laces it past first base. Instead, it will be 0-1. So now Kubo in an 0-1 hole with 2 in scoring position and a chance to blow the game back open for the Redbirds. This one swung on, chopped over to third. Try to get him in a rundown. Going back to third. Did they get it in time? Doesn't look like it. So bases are now loaded for Illinois State.
What an inning.
I mean, they just know how to play the small ball at times, Dave. They run the bases well. They're able to shorten up their swings, and right now Bradley has the force at any base, but it's now 3 on the bags for the Redbirds. This bring up another one of their power batters. As Kisting tries to find a way to get out of this inning. This will be Pasella. Big left fielder. This one shot towards the outfield, going back. And it's a grand slam for the Redbirds. Illinois State can do no wrong so far. Pasella with an absolute towering shot towards left center, and Illinois State finds themselves up 8-1 on their I-74 rivals.
Third home run of the day for Kisting, giving up now 9 on the season. And Illinois State is tattooing the right-hander, who's probably coming out. And there's Elvis Dominguez, and that'll be it.
It's just been an impressive offensive showing from Illinois State today, Dave. They, like you said, come in fresh off a big offensive performance against Northern Illinois in the midweek. They played Tuesday, Wednesday, took the off day Thursday, and now they will play a first of 3 games on the weekend. So this is a team that had every excuse to be tired coming into this contest, having played Milwaukee and then Northern Illinois. But so far, they are showing no signs of fatigue.
Well, they've got it going. I think it was an indicator when Shai Robinson hit his first home run and a 3-run shot, so that got him the lead. Bradley got to run back, and they're right there, but that grand slam is, and I think we're going to have a move, and I think that
Looks like Harris will take
Harris
the
is
hill.
going to pitch. Gets a new glove, and he will take over, and now we'll need a shortstop.
So, Easton Harris, the freshman we've touched on, can do a little bit of everything. He's pitched from time to time for Bradley. They will make the move to put him on the mound. So now a right-handed freshman from Washington, Illinois, Middle Illini product, will go on and try and shut down Illinois State, which is so far proven to be easier said than done.
He was in relief last week and pitched very, very well. An error in that game on a double play ball gave him a tough loss. And he'll take to the mound here and see if he can have any better luck of shutting down the Illinois State offense. And they have been outstanding here. Harris's mark is 0-3 with an 8.25 earned run average. This is his 7th appearance, all but one in relief, 12 innings. He's given up 37 runs, 31 of them earned, allowed 43 hits. The strikeout to walk is 10 strikeouts and 9 walks. And he has given up a pair of home runs, a double. And that means that Jackson Chatterton will move to short.
Hansen will move to Peter Hansen will enter the game. There you see, look at him. He'll come into the game to second base for Bradenbach as Harris heads to the hill. So Illinois State motoring here as Morris comes to the dish, and that one's outside for Harris, 1-0. Well, just we were talking about anything can happen in this rivalry, Dave. You see run down between home and third, and it ends up loading the bases, and one swing of the bat later, it's 8-1.
And he's behind 0-2.
So the 2-0 coming from Easton Harris. Again, it's a kid who hasn't seen a ton of time on the hill. He's had his moments. 2-1, low in the zone. It's now 3-0.
They picked up right where they left off. 18 runs the other night at Northern Illinois, and they have 8 here, and we're just in the top of the 4th inning.
This one popped up. Infield ranging over. Delgado losing it, and Harris will field it. The pitcher comes home and makes the play.
That one blew back, and I don't think that Delgado had any idea where that ball was. Fortunately, the pitcher did.
That's where I guess it pays to have a pitcher who can play the position in the field as well. Illinois State has had a raucous, now 3 2/3 of an inning, 10 hits, 8 runs. It's just been a clinic for Illinois State.
Nichols 2 for 2. Watch it straight up. And he throws his mask away. Woo! Wind is blowing out a little bit. It hasn't made a difference on their home runs. We will say that. But the wind is blowing out to center field.
Tradition unlike any other at Dozer Park. Usually you catch the ball up in that wind stream or jet stream, and it'll definitely give you an extra 20, 20, 30 feet on him.
It would take some to match the shot by Javi Baez to the Bourne building across the street.
Seen a couple moonshots here at Dozer Park in recent years. Notably, they had Wright State last year. One almost reached the Caterpillar lawn, which is about a 490, 500-foot stretch out to down the third base line. So now 3-1 coming up for young Easton Harris. Spikes it. It's going to be a walk with 2 down.
There have been some shots here at this place that would make for a good Mayhem commercial.
Absolutely. There you take a look. There's Nichols on at first base, and he is the second baseman. Drew his first walk today, just moments ago. So that will bring up Strong, the catcher. He has struck out once today. He's also flown out. So 0-2, looking to join the Illinois State hit party. One outside from Harris, 1-0. So Dave, what's kind of the go-to here for Bradley? Obviously, their defense has seen some go over the fence. They really haven't had many balls in play that have scored runs. It's been everything over the fence that hurts Bradley so far. But what's kind of the mantra?
Well, it hasn't. They haven't walked anybody. They've earned pretty much everything they have, but Kisting was just wild in the strike zone, and that makes for a long day for the pitcher. He got a hit 0-2 and then tried to come back early, and then again, when you're wild in the strike zone, can be some bad news.
Breaking ball finds that sweet spot of the zone, 1-2 now to Harris. Like we touched on earlier, you can see the records up in the top left. Neither of these two teams vying for one of the higher seeds coming to the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, but bragging rights are always a big thing when it comes to rivalry matchups, and these two are no different.
Illinois State is making a statement here.
This one swung on and fouled back again, 1-2.
They win this game, and the two will be tied
with 2 games to go in the series.
Both early morning games again because of the Peoria Chiefs, the high A team of the Cardinals playing at home afterwards.
1-2. And one outside now, 2-2 again. Chiefs back home, like we said, this is their home, high affiliate of the Cardinals. But those pitch times, like you said, Dave, kind of unusual in terms of the weekend series because it goes 11 a.m. tomorrow, and then 10 a.m. Sunday. So very early mornings for these two teams. Again, breaking ball in the dirt. Runner over to second, advancing on the wild pitch. So now man on second with 2 down, and Illinois State might not be done here.
Another runner in scoring position.
This will bring up again Strong. He's working with a full count. Check swing outside. Did he go? They're going to say he did, so throw over to first. Gets away. Ball being kicked and thrown all around the yard right now for Bradley, as that will score a run on the error. So it's a swinging strike 3. Runner goes to first, reaches by way of an error, and that'll bring a run across. It's 9-1 Illinois State.
E2.
Again, that could have been the third out of the inning. The first place umpire signaled that he went through the plane of the plate. So that would have been a strikeout had they gotten it to first cleanly and ended the inning. So Bradley will now have their mound visit and try and correct some of the things they're just not on their dotting their I's and crossing their T's on so far.
It would probably be scored a wild pitch, first of all, that allowed the runner to advance from second to third, and then an E2 on the throw on the strikeout.
Official scores have it as Nichols advancing to second on a wild pitch, which was fine, and then Strong struck out swinging, reached to first on an error. Nichols scores on an unearned.
Just goes to show you can see anything at a baseball game that you haven't seen in a while. But it's another run for Illinois State.
So now 9-1, Illinois State, working with 1 on and 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Again, the young Easton Harris trying to find a way to get out of this as J.P. Gaither comes to the plate. He's come across the score, has a hit, and he's been left on base twice. So far today is a loop single for his lone hit today.
That was just a second error for Delgado on the season.
Doesn't make many of them behind the dish. The 1, breaking pitch, swung on and speared towards left, but it'll go foul.
They're not getting cheated, are they, Cody?
No, they are definitely locating the ball well today. It's now 9-1. Again, Illinois State has exploded in this inning for 5 runs. Their scoring goes as scoreless in the top of the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 5 here in the 4th. 0-2, swung on, shot towards center. Vogel's going to have to come in on it in a hurry. Takes a hop. Runner on 2nd and 1st now for Illinois State.
And the line keeps moving. That's what a good team does when they find you on the ropes.
Yeah,
They keep the line moving.
There's going to be no love lost between these two dugouts. Again, we talked about it. It's a series that dates back to 1901, one of the oldest in-state rivalries across the country. You can take a look. The Missouri Valley Conference, the second oldest conference in the nation, behind just the Big Ten. And these two have been going at it for decades. And it's just a 5-game advantage in the all-time series between Illinois State and Bradley, led by the Redbirds, 118 to 113. Bradley trying to find a way to get out of this top of the 4th. Swung on, fouled off again, 0-2. So 2 on, 2 out. Bradley just like got some momentum going with their bats in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a scoreless bottom of the 4th. Excuse me, will come up in the bottom of the 4th. Breaking pitch, chopped. Over to 2nd, and Chatterton will field it well, and there is out number 3. So Illinois State has their way in the top of the 4th. We'll be right back as we get set for the Bradley offense coming up after a short break. You're watching The Valley on ESPN. Welcome back. Dozer Park in downtown Peoria, Illinois. There you see some of the shaved heads we referenced earlier in the broadcast. And Dave, we touched on it. It's a tradition that ranges back for quite some time with head coach Elvis Dominguez and his tenure here at Bradley, but it means a lot to both communities and local hospitals and whatnot.
I don't know how many years. It's been over a decade, I know that. And Elvis has been spearheading this, and different players kind of take the reins for that. Elvis, by the way, his son, Christian, who is from Washington and played for him, he is the top salesman for the Rawlings Company in the nation.
He definitely has a far reach. Dominguez family as this one swung on by Huseman towards right field and caught. Good job ranging back that time by J.P. Gaither, hauling that one in. And so it's a quick 1 pitch, 1 out for Illinois State here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well hit, but out. If you want to hit a home run today, left field is the place to go.
Chatterton's up, steers at ball 1. And the 1-0 coming. And chopped foul. There you can see maybe some of the reason that the fielders have had a tough day, Illinois State and Bradley both. You can see the sun dancing in between the clouds. If you look under the outfield, it's just rolling clouds.
It's like a blimp went by.
It's been grounded, and it'll be a foul ball, so 1-2. But that's one of the caveats of playing at Dozer Park. Not a whole lot of, forgiveness from the sun, but as a hitter, the ball up in the air usually carries pretty far.
There you see the clouds. It's really a nice day, though, at the ballpark.
Stark contrast to the storms that rolled through the central Illinois and Peoria area last night. There was a tornado watch tornado watch that started about 3 p.m. yesterday and went to about 8 o'clock. And eventually there was a tornado warning up by Germantown Hills and Metamora. Nothing of huge damage to note.
Was working in the office and the siren went off and told everybody to get downstairs.
It's just life in the Midwest. There's ball 4, and there'll be a man aboard in Chatterton as he draws the walk. But that's another thing that Bradley's really had to deal with in bulk this season. They have had, I believe, to date, one home series that has not been affected by weather, not including their midweek matchups. They have really had to adapt and overcome at times. They had their home series against Southern Illinois get called off because of a tornado warning earlier this season. Same with Valparaiso. Poor weather leading to Sunday, forced a doubleheader on Saturday. It's just been one thing after another for Bradley this season. This one swung on and chopped foul.
Yeah, in the Valparaiso game, they had to pick it up in the second day and finish a game before they played another.
So
that was Southern Illinois. That's right.
Salukis now stands top 2 in the standings. They're just a game back of the team that will be playing later today in Indiana State and the Sycamores. And Bradley can claim to be one of 2 teams.
Actually, that game is tomorrow. It's really unusual. They'll play tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday.
It is
a holdover series. Belmont is at Missouri State, UIC at Valparaiso, and Evansville at Murray State later.
Evansville also a team that the season had some good high hopes, and they lived up to the majority of them so far. This one's chopped back to the pitcher, throw to second. There's one back to first, and the double play will end the inning. So Illinois State can do it on offense, does it on defense. We'll get set for the top of the 5th when we come back. Illinois State out in front, 9-1 against Bradley.
Illinois State in this one, 9-11-0. Bradley 1-2-2. And we're ready to go in the top of the 5th inning. Illinois State, it'll be the 3rd time at bat for their leadoff hitter, Shai Robinson, who got their scoring started in the 2nd inning with a 3-run homer. His first of the season and the first 3 RBIs of the season. So he's pretty happy about that, and it'll be against the Bradley right-hander. Back to the mound, and that's Easton Harris. They're on their way to the 4th time through their lineup as the leadoff hitter comes to the plate. If this score holds, they'll be tied, the 2 in league play. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
Like we said, they'll play 2 more games this weekend series. They'll have one at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and so we're going to get up really early on a Sunday, play at 10 a.m. here. The last game of the series.
That pitch is low. Salata has got a whole lot of runs to deal with now. Oh, inside, nearly hit him. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball, and he had enough time to get out of the way. Next one is just missed the knees, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, this is a super young pitching staff from Bradley. It's curious to see how long they let Harris work. Obviously, Bradley not necessarily within striking distance yet, unless something miraculous were to happen here in the next couple of innings, but really, the top couple arms in their rotation, Dave, are all underclassmen. You take a look at Kiston, Lutz, Edders is a redshirt freshman. They really only have 1 or 2 experienced arms. They bring Flack in, who's a transfer. They have Connor Langrel, who's going to be a graduate student, and he's currently placed as the closer, but
hasn't had a chance to pitch much lately.
Exactly.
Here's a called strike on a breaking ball. As Robinson's at first base, you don't expect him probably to be moving here with a 9-1 lead, but you never know. One strike pitch. That's a breaking ball, drops in for strike two. This is Augie Rasmussen. He has struck out and two singles and scored in that big fourth inning. And the Redbirds started their onslaught with 5 runs. 9-1 here in the top of the fifth. There's a ball hit to the first baseman. And stepping on is Adam Bryant. Runner goes to second base. There's 1 down and a 3 unassisted. And Kuba.
And first baseman Kubo.
Kubo. B-A-U. Will step in. He's looking for his first hit. He reached on a fielder's choice the last time and scored. There's a curveball for a strike. So Harris is getting his breaking ball over here in the fifth. Although he did walk the leadoff man who's out there at second. There you see Shy Robinson. There's a called strike. 0-2. He's been anything but shy today. He's been on. And he looks like your prototypical leadoff man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got some speed.
Similar height to that of Bradley's Ryan Vogel. I mean, these two
We're same numbers. There's a swing and a miss and a ball out of the strike zone. And that is 2 in a row down. And brings up Rochella. And he has a homer and a single. And he popped up the last time that, remember, Easton had to go get.
Yeah, we were just talking about Robinson standing over the second. The 2 men on the diamond right now for ISU have all 8 of their RBIs. It's been quite a clinic between those two.
Rochella, the grand slam. Left-handed hitter. And hits that one to first base. It's booted, and another error. Adam Bryant has had a rough afternoon there, but he's not a first baseman by trade.
No,
He's a catcher, and he's taking over for Connor O'Brien, who's hurt. That's the 3rd error for Bradley here in this game.
This has been a tough day out in the field for Bradley. Like we said, not a ton of balls have been put necessarily in the field of play. Everything has either been a walk, strikeout, or a home run, so kind of your true outcome kind of day. And
Judah Morris comes to the plate. He has a runner in scoring position at third now. And he fouls it off to the right. He's got the look of Dave Parker from days gone by, the Cobra.
what a call.
That played with the Pirates and was a big power hitter. And the bases are loaded. Morris is hit by a pitch.
It's a lead of a bird on every bag. Last time that happened for Illinois State was a shot over the fence, although at this point in the season, Nichols hasn't displayed all that much power towards the bottom half of the lineup.
Only for Easton, that's his 5th hit by pitch. And the bases are loaded again. And the first pitch to Strong. He got a hit the last time up there. He has RBI opportunity galore here.
Like you said, Illinois State, Shy Robinson's got 3, Sella's got 5. Done a good
Pitch is
job
high.
taking advantage with the runners in scoring position. All I'm saying is I'm willing to bet that Bobby Parker, who's been a main man on tickets and events, Bradley's going to have a busy day picking up some of the home run balls in the outfield.
That's for sure. And going the other way, and that's a base hit. 1 run in, 2 runs in. And the runners, 2 more score. And it's 11 1.
They'll leave runners on the corners. So Greg Nichols now has his third single, walked earlier. Brings in a couple of runs to add to his RBI count. It's just been a hitter's day for Illinois State. Now their 12th hit in 5 2/3 inning.
Nick Strong comes to the plate. It's been a day for Nichols, hasn't it? And pitch high. One and 0. So Illinois State has that 10-run lead. And another hits by pitch. Or did it hit the bat?
And maybe say it hit the butt of the bat. They're going to check to see if it made contact with him. Grimacing a little bit. It's always a tough call for home run.
They might have to look at this to see. And it did hit him. I thought it did.
Take another look. Yeah, ran right in.
See, he's got the bat partially covered with his left hand, so.
Yeah, it'd be a tough hit to get the bottom of the bat. I think they make the right call here, Dave.
I don't think you. Look at his hand. There's no bat there. That got him. Second hit batsman of the inning. And now we may have another. The bases are loaded again. Andrew Werner comes out. Every time you look up, the bases are loaded for Illinois State. And they've been getting hits.
It's just that kind of day. Bradley just hasn't pitched as well or fielded as well as they could so far this afternoon. I think we'd all agree this effort isn't necessarily indicative of how well Bradley can play at times. Obviously, we saw them go hit for hit and whatnot with Southern Illinois earlier this year, but it's just been a tough time for Bradley this last week. They just coming off a midweek game against Iowa and Iowa City, and the Hawkeyes, and it's just been a tough outing for the Braves this morning.
Braden Marks is down in the bullpen. I don't know how long they would leave Harris in. If he comes out and he's to lead off in the next inning, I wonder if he would go back to short or just come out of the game.
I would imagine they would probably take him out of the game, try and get some more experience for players who haven't gotten the field. J.P. Gaither.
Gaither now at the plate. He's got a hit and struck out. Fouls it back. 0-1. Everybody has got in the act. Gaither 2 for 3. Struck out in the third inning. Was a big part of their 5-run inning. And here's a ball well hit to center field, but going back and making the grab is Vogel. And Illinois State strands the bases loaded. We go into the bottom of the 6th. Illinois State leads by 10, 11-1. This is the Valley on ESPN. A lot of crooked numbers up on the board for Illinois State. 11-1. They have 12 hits. Bradley has more errors than hits in 3. And only 2 knocks in the game. Braden Bach, who's no longer in there, has 1 of them. And the double by McGinnis, who scored the only run for Bradley. So the bottom of the order coming up in the 6th inning.
So looks like they will leave Harris in the field. Lay down the bunt.
Picked up, pitcher throws, low, safe, gets away, and that'll be an infield single.
Man's had a pretty good outing, all things considered. Yeah, he gave up some runs as a pitcher, but he's had a couple moments in the field. Gets it done. Infield bunt.
Whatever it takes. And the ball gets away.
It's almost skipped off the bag.
So to the plate is Cole Lucky. Struck out the first time and swings and misses there. Redbirds have turned to double play on a 1-6-3 when Bryant was up in the last inning after a leadoff walk to Jackson Chatterton. There's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. His curveball has been very, very effective today.
Yeah, it's been essentially untouched by Bradley so far today. And just one of those things that just haven't had, whether it's enough at-bats to pick up on it or he's changing speeds that well.
That ball's well hit, but right at the left fielder. And Puchella makes the grab. So there's one down for Bradley in the 6th inning. And brings up Cal McGinnis, who has one of the 2 hits and scored the only run for Bradley. Cal, a left-handed hitter with a runner at first.
I did see the other day, Dave, that when Illinois State was playing Northern Illinois, they had a fun little wager going on between one of their coaches, Steve Holm, and their sports information director, that if Illinois State scored 15 runs in that game or more, they were going to allow Coach Holm to write their game recap. And they got it done. They scored 18, and so the Coach Holm wrote the recap for the team that
That's
day.
terrific.
I wonder if maybe that's what's been fueling them and if they made it again here today.
1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. 2-0.
It's always good to see athletic departments having fun within the coaches and the communication staff. Obviously, they work together all the time, so.
There's a called strike. Well, they're having a lot of fun today, aren't they?
Oh, I would imagine so. There's, I think, of 11 reasons on a scoreboard for them to be pretty happy.
And ball 4.
So Bradley getting a little something moving here. Obviously, down 10, a run here would pull them back within the run rule if we were to run to the 7th with this scoreline.
And the leadoff hitter is Ryan Vogel. He has walked, struck out his first time. Shalata is 2-4 in the season, but he's 2 outs away from making that 3 out of 4 unless something unusual happens in this game. Here's Vogel, and a breaking ball just drops in.
He has just been on fire today.
I am really impressed with his curveball. It's kept the Braves off stride. Here you see dancing away is Easton Harris. There's another called strike on the breaking ball.
And
Curveball.
why would you throw anything else? I mean, it's been, again, essentially unhit today by Bradley.
He's got a 12-6 break, does he not?
I mean, just like it rolls off the edge of a table.
0-2 now to Bradley's leadoff hitter. He struck out in the first. Takes that one outside. I hate to say wasted pitch, but he...
Hasn't had many of them today.
No. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next delivery. Chopped to third base. Out at second and safe at first.
How did Vogel get a piece of that?
He almost had to go off that, so he reaches on a fielder's choice. So Bradley has runners at first and third now, as McGinnis is cut down. And that brings up
Peter
Hansen to the plate, the sophomore.
Was brought into the game
when Brinbach went out. Pitch inside. Hansen's had a pretty good season. 243, he's had 9 RBIs. And he's done a lot when called in there. It's ball 2.
definitely had his stretches with Bradley this season. Made some big plays in earlier weeks. That's ISU comes to mind when they had him out at second in extra innings.
And this is a fly ball going back. And Pachella makes the catch, and the Braves are done. They get a couple of runners, but don't score. We're on to the sixth. Illinois State still with a 10-run lead, 11-1. This is the Valley on ESPN. Braves. Is Harris going to be out there again?
And Mark's warming up. It looks like Harris will go back out there.
Just trying to eat innings here and save the bullpen for possible work tomorrow. Has Bradley announced a starter for tomorrow? Is it Lutz?
Scheduled typically, the second game has been Travis Lutz, but they've shifted it up. Anthony Potoff has worked some starts here recently, typically in the midweek, but there's a couple of names you could throw out there. I'm sure that's a conversation they'll have tonight when we get back to the coaches' meeting. Definitely organizing the bullpen for the next two games. Just trying to stay Illinois State in the standings, because right now it looks like they'll be tied at the end of today.
Lawrence at the plate. He's 1 for 3 and takes a hack, the left-hander, and swings and misses. Lawrence, and then the top of the order. Shea Robinson has had a workout today. There's a foul ball. 0-2. So the freshman shortstop pitcher today gets ahead in the count, 0-2. And the next one is upstairs for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3 o'clock game getting underway. UIC at Valparaiso. Right? Valparaiso came in and swept the Braves, and they're on a bit of a run of their own. Here's a foul back to the right. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5 o'clock today, Evansville at Murray State. Those teams are 4-5 in the standings at this point. Next one is foul back over to the left. Belmont and Missouri State will play their game 1 of their series. And as we mentioned before, the top 2 teams in the league, Indiana State the leading at 11-1. Next pitch is inside, 2-2. Will face number 2 Indiana State hosting Southern Illinois tomorrow at 1, Sunday at 2, and Monday at 1. Curveball just misses, and it's 2-2.
Harris has looked okay at times on the mound. He's definitely gotten into some pitchers' counts. Much like Kissing today, hasn't found a way to get him
Goes
off.
down the line and fair. This will be a double. Rounding first and heading to second base with another extra base hit as he goes in to second base. And another extra base hit. Lawrence has his second hit of the morning/afternoon, as we're 11 minutes until 1 o'clock.
It's their third double of the day. Kind
My
of.
scorebook looks like a thunderstorm here.
And it's been a busy day for Illinois State's offense. I mean, you take into account their home runs. I mean, they've got 6 of their 13 hits coming from extra bases. It's been a very productive day to play. Illinois State and their coaching staff has to be thrilled.
3-run homer for Robinson. Shy Robinson got this started. This is a fly ball coming in and making a grab. Had to come from a long way is Carson Huseman for the putout. So the runner holds at second base. And 1 down. Brings up Augie Rasmussen. He has a couple of hits. Scored 1 of their runs. He's a stolen base guy. Bradley cut him down as Delgado threw him out only for the third time this year. He's been caught stealing. There's a swing and a miss. Augie Rasmussen, 287 hitter. He has a little power. 4 homers, 19 runs batted in coming into the game. And he takes that one for a called strike fastball. And it's 0-2. Top of the 6th, and you see the Bradley bullpen busy.
Marks.
And I would imagine this will be the last inning for him. Here's a breaking pitch, rounded to first, picked up by Bryant. That moves Lawrence to third, and there's 2 down. So that play made by Bryant. And there's 2 down.
May seem odd to say in a 11-1 ball game, but kind of a big minute here for
Well,
Illinois State.
It's a fly ball, and it's put away by the Bradley right fielder. So Carson Huseman makes the put out of the last 2, or 2 of the 3. No runs, 1 hit. No Bradley errors, and 1 left. Bottom of the 6th, 11-1 Redbirds. This is the Valley on ESPN. Lana takes his warm-up tosses as we get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. You see the score. And the fans out there waiting, youngsters waiting for a... Are they supposed to be in school?
I think I'm not going to act like I was above going to a baseball game on a school day, Dave. So it is a beautiful afternoon.
It is a gorgeous afternoon, especially after everybody was pinned in last night.
Right, everyone just got a little bit of cabin fever, trying to come out, trying to smell some of the flowers, get some sun.
There you see Salata, and a very efficient outing for him. 74 pitches coming in, and Bradley's leadoff hitter is Logan Delgado. 0 for 2, grounded to second and to first on a pop-up. Delgado likely will DH tomorrow. There's a swing and a foul. That got the catcher. And Strong hangs in there. Well, you play that position, you get it off the mask. You get dinged up. There's a fly ball and out of play, and they're going to get a play down there. No,
Well, it looked like those kids, maybe if they would extend
I
their
was
gloves,
gonna
had a
say-
shot at it.
like the young man from Baltimore years ago with the Yankees and took a home run away in the playoffs. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
11-1, and here's the 0-2 here in the 6th. Woo, there's a curveball got away.
You were down at a more recent Major League game. You were down in St. Louis, what was it, 2 days ago to go see your Cardinals?
Yeah, and then I went a couple weeks ago and watched the Braves beat the bludgeon the Cardinals in that series. Arizona's a pretty good team. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2. Well hit ball to center field. Going back, and off the wall. Delgado's got an extra base hit. Rasmussen, and 3 base hit, a triple here in the Bradley 6th inning. Delgado, 3 base hit. That is Bradley's, 3rd hit of the day?
Yeah, well, goes down as their 4th with the triple. That's a big hit, Dave, because now if Bradley brings them across, the run rule is no longer in effect when we head to the 7th.
And we have nobody out. And he's taking a strike. Is Carson Huseman, who struck out and flied out to right field. He hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark there. Huseman swings and misses 0-2. Huseman is trouble with the strikeouts this season. 41 of them and 12 walks. Now 42. He takes that one for a ball. It's 0-2. Braves with the fly ball would get a run home. That's low. Nice stop by Nick Strong. Keeps Delgado at third base. So a fly ball would get the run in. Only Bradley's. There's a ground ball, is foul over towards the bullpen.
It's almost a worst place scenario for Bradley. Have one ground over to the third with your man on
At
third, taking a lead.
base, yeah.
Taking a lead off, stepped on the bag, thrown back to first.
Next delivery is outside, and it's a full count, 3-2. I imagine we're going to see Braden Marks. In the seventh. There's a foul out of play to the right.
Good battle here by Houston.
Illinois State all over the bases. 3 homers. 3-2. That's ball 4.
Now 2 on.
So the Braves have something going here as Houston gets the base on balls. It's the third for the right-hander. Enchilada now works to Jackson Chatterton.
Curious to see if they try and throw back to first, or if they work the bottom of the zone, try and trade the run for 2 outs.
And pitch high. Now he's having a little trouble with the strike zone. He's at 88 pitches. He's been very economical. The walks, he has only walked 3. Chatterton fouls it back, evens the count at 1-1. These two teams will play again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And the final game of the series on Sunday at 10 a.m. There's a half swing, but didn't go. Held up. 2-1. Jackson Chatterton, another Mid-Illini player, fouls it off. He had a pitch to hit that time. The curveball got into the zone.
I had the pleasure of calling a Clutch Sports Media broadcast. What was it, probably this last fall with Mr. Chatterton. He's a Dunlap alumni, and pinch of needing a broadcaster, we brought Jackson on. Did a great job. Might have a future in that if he wants
There
to
you go.
someday.
The 2-2 pitch with 2 on, nobody out. Chatterton fouls it back again, got a good swing.
A quick rundown of Illinois State's pitching to this point. Again, he's just about north of 90 pitches, but he's given up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. He's 22 hitters. Great on the mound today.
There's the curveball. Hits a fly ball, and Bradley's going to get a run as it drops in front of the center fielder. So an RBI for Jackson Chatterton with a base knock. And Bradley gets under that 10 runs and an RBI. So Chatterton, who drives in Delgado, who tripled. And Huseman went just to second base. And let's see if they make a pitching change here.
If they make a change, it's not because he gave up the run. It's because he's probably flirting with 100 pitches and has worked deep into Bradley's lineup. Again, he's faced 23 hitters now.
Doesn't look like he's going to bring him out.
Maybe just wants to establish what was working for them there, calm them down. I mean, you talk about just how good Illinois State's been today, Dave. We've talked about their pitching, but talk about the amount of players they've left on base today. It's been 10, so there's another couple runs you could throw in there for most of they gotten timely hits. I mean, it's just been a clinic on any facet of the game today.
There you see the Illinois State pitcher warming up.
Tyrell Chadwick, right-hander. Freshman, 6'3". Kamloops, British Columbia. Okotoks High School. I'm going to say I got that one right, but I'm
Very
sure.
good. So that brings in Brian, and he takes high for a ball. He struck out and grounded into a double play. Nobody out here for the Braves. So they try to get more. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. And the left-hander steps in. You see Huseman getting his lead. Got that one down the line near the dugout or the bullpen and up the berm.
Just a little out in front of it, straighten it out. He finds its way into the gap.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out. Bradley has picked up a run here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Another strikeout. It's a lot of just has really been good all the way through this game. He strikes out Bryant, and now Easton Harris comes to the plate. Shortstop / pitcher in this game. Still at 1 out, and there's that curveball. Drops in. It's been kind to him today. There you see Huseman still at second. Chatterton at first with that RBI. Next one. Ooh, that was a breaking ball that didn't break much, and Harris had to just duck down. His 100th pitch. You don't see that often in college baseball, do you?
No, but when a guy's on, you let him run.
Next one, foul tip, and into the glove of Nick Strong.
Ooh. Good thing they got their hair cut the other day. Not much to take off the top.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Next delivery is popped up. That's going to be a base hit. And it's going to be the bases loaded for Bradley. So the Braves have the bases loaded as Harris dunks one in. Huseman goes to third. Chatterton to second. Harris on with his first hit of the day.
Not a huge home run threat. But I don't think that's the mentality you want here. I think you're looking just to keep the line moving with the 1 out, try and find some grass.
And to the plate is Cole Lucky. He's 0 for 2.
Walk is just as good as a hit here.
Bradley trying to, with 1 out, add on here. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. And the next one is a breaking ball, and that's a base hit. That'll score 1 run. Here's the throw in, and the Braves, I believe, hold the runner at third base. So it's an RBI single for Lucky, and the line keeps moving.
Bring up McGinnis.
Huseman scores. There's no sense sending the runner to the plate when you're 8 runs behind, and I think this might do it.
As we bring up Cal McGinnis to the plate for Bradley. He was the 9th man in the order when Salata had retired all 8 that he'd seen in order. So he was about to get a clean first 3 innings before McGinnis slapped a single.
What a performance, though. He's at 105, and so he's going to be retired, but he'll get a nice high and low fives from his teammates as he heads towards the dugout.
Definitely a well-earned outing for him. I mean, he did exactly what he set out to do today. It was very, very tough to hit early on. The curveball going up, down, left, right, and center, it seemed like, against Bradley today. And like we said, Chadwick will come now into the ball game. There you take a look at his bio, the 6'4", 225-pound freshman, righty. Kamloops, British Columbia. An unorthodox delivery, keeps it really up by his ear for a little bit. Let's see his next warm-up pitch.
He's 1-3 on the year. He has a 9.11 ERA. This is his 12th appearance. He's had 4 starts. 27 2/3. He's allowed 30 runs, 28 of them earned, 46 hits. The strikeout to walk is very good, 32 and 14. 6 doubles, giving up 2 triples, 4 home runs, and his batting average against is .377. He's hit 7. That's a lot. 5 wild pitches. And there is number 38 as the right-hander takes some warm-ups. And he'll be facing a bases-loaded situation for Bradley as Cal McGinnis comes to the plate, and he had the only RBI for the Braves before this frame. So they're trying to get a little momentum of their own, if not for this game, which is still going. That's the great thing about baseball. There's no clock, except the pitchers.
I was going to say, technically there is a clock now.
There is a clock now.
But it really hasn't played much of effect on this one. Game started just after 11. Now,
and the first one's a wild pitch. It goes back to the screen. And just as we were talking about the wild pitch, the run scores.
That'll effectively take away the double play ball. So now second and third with 1 down.
Chatterton scores, and all the runners move up. Now second and third. And McGinnis has a chance for a couple of RBIs here. It is 11-4. And this one's fouled away. And even to count at 1-1.
Yeah, the thing that's really gone well for Bradley that's happening is they've been way more patient when they've gotten to the plate. They've taken that first pitch, seeing what they've gotten, coming towards them in terms of velocity or break. And since that point, they've been able to get on, draw walks, and a couple of bloops here. We haven't seen one leave the park yet for Bradley. Although they've got some bodies in the lineup today that could do that.
1-2. Chadwick. There's a foul ball. McGinnis stays alive. There's a double and a walk in this game. Those runs are going against Salata. The wild pitch scoring a run. And the next one to McGinnis takes it outside. Evens a count at 2-2. Bradley's offense has had some high-scoring games this year. Unfortunately, the pitching staff has given up too many. That's 3-2. The bases loaded. There could be a chance for Ryan Vogel with the bases loaded, looking for his first hit of the day. Takes it outside.
This just feels like one of those teeter-totter innings, right? Illinois State coming into the inning, it's like 11-1. They're half inning or so away from getting to the run rule, but all of a sudden they've given up a couple here. Bradley now with the bases loaded, still 1 out. It's kind of not necessarily a nervous air in the stadium, but it's definitely starting to get to the point for Illinois State fans like, okay, gotta start to shut this down.
4 home runs for Ryan Vogel. He does not have a grand slam. We've had one in this game. And that's a ball over his head. It gets away, and a run will score. And the runners move up. So it's 11-5.
Just having a little trouble with control. It's now another wild pitch. It's come across to score a Bradley run. And looks like they're going to want to talk about it as you hear some chirping now from the Bradley dugout. Sure not what they had in mind when they were gearing up to pull the starter. Doesn't appear he'd be coming out. I'm sure they're just trying to reassert that. Try and find the zone, keep it low. If they're going to hit something, make sure it's in the ballpark. Look at Vogel's barely ducked out away of that one.
Yeah, that was wild. So the run comes across as Easton Harris comes across. He got a base hit. Lucky got a base hit. McGinnis walked. And we have a 1-ball count with runners at second and third.
Again, that wild pitch takes away the double play. So Illinois State's turned a couple of those today, but they now take themselves out of position to do so here with the leadoff man.
Chadwick to Vogel. Strike as he's taking all the way. So the Braves get within somewhat shouting distance, but
still work to be done.
It'll take more here. 1-1, and there's a ground ball picked up. And there's Robinson making the throw. Run scores. It's an RBI on the infield out.
Trade the out for the run. Now you start to get kind of to the heart of the Bradley's lineup. Hansen coming in. Braden Bach was the DH in the 2 spot earlier in the contest, but he got pulled when Easton Harris went to the mound, and so Bradley could tag one more on here and pull within 4.
11-6 now. And Hansen comes to the plate and takes inside.
I think the message is still the same here, Dave. Just keep taking. Necessarily don't want to look for the walk, but you don't want to swing anything that you don't think you can put some good bat on here.
Well hit. It's in the gap. It'll score a run at the base of the wall in left center field. And the Braves do get a run, and now they're within 4 on a double by Peter Hansen.
Everybody in the ballpark's thinking it, but anybody with a Bradley shirt on isn't saying anything about it. Bradley continues just to claw back. They're now up to 8 hits. They didn't have much of offense to speak of, but again, Hansen came off the bench today with a big RBI double.
And that'll bring up Delgado, who got a triple to start up the inning.
So they've gone through the whole lineup now, and Bradley's turn on offense.
And Delgado hits the ball deep, but right at the right fielder. The Braves get closer. They get 5 runs in the inning. And it's now 11-7. And we go to the top of the 7th. Cody is back. We've got kind of a ball game again. 4-run lead. Illinois State 11-7, and this is the Valley on ESPN.
In downtown Peoria, Bradley fresh off a 6-run inning of their own. They'll trail Illinois State 11-7. As we get set for the top of the 7th. Dave, they've dodged the run rule. They'll try and give it their best shot here in the I-74 rivalry. And there's a new man on the mound for Bradley.
You know, it's that grand slam is the difference in the game, isn't it?
Just a tough look. There is Gus Lucas, a underclassman pitcher, freshman as well, will come into the ball game. His teammates, especially, current teammates with Easton Harris, obviously, but is also played his high school ball out at Washington High. 6'4" freshman, 210 pounds. He is a lefty, so the first lefty we've seen in the ball game for Bradley.
No record. This is his 3rd appearance, a 5.40 ERA. He has pitched only 1 1/3 inning. Allowed 1 run, 2 hits. It was earned. And the first pitch.
And start out the count now 2-0. And sure Illinois State's thinking probably want to try and get some of those back. I mean, Mr. Bradley's still down 4. Dances away now, 3-0, and Lucas is in danger of walking the leadoff man.
It's been a while since he's pitched.
Sella at the plate again. He's got 5 RBIs. Got that towering home run earlier, and he'll take the walk. They just can't seem to get him out today.
That's the last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff hitter out of just picked up 5 runs to try to get back in the game.
Well, the good news now for Bradley is they've gotten working with the back half of the order as Morris, the DH, is up. After that, it's Nichols, Strong, and J.P. Gaither coming up. So here is Morris. He's had some hard hit at-bats so far today. That one finds the zone 0-1. So Lucas works with that. Not necessarily as much velocity as the other arms in the Bradley bullpen. More off-speed, a little more movement.
This guy looked like he could hit it 2 miles.
Gets a piece of it here. Shot towards the foul pole. And it's gone. Illinois State can do it again. It's now a 2-run shot for Morris. Just another shot to right field. That one quite didn't get as far as the street. But just like that, Dave, after Bradley scores 6, Illinois State comes back with 2 more, and it's back to a 6-run lead.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And I tell you, look, he's giving a piggyback ride to, that might have been Kubo.
So Lucas sees 2, gives up the 2-run shot. We'll work 0-1 here now to Nichols, and it's just been easy today for Illinois State. We saw one clear that latent fence out in right field to skip over, and now push-ups being done. The home runs they've hit today might have a couple more in them.
He has got, in the lower body, his legs just indicate power.
It definitely looks the part. It's now 13-7. If you're just joining in, scoring recap thus far, Illinois State had 3 in the second. Each team scored 1 in the third. But the Redbirds stacked on 7 more between the 4th and 5th. Bradley finally got back on the board with a 6-run bottom of the 6th.
Mark's is going to come in, I believe.
Yeah, that should be his day. And Ellis Dominguez will make the pull. Now in the top of the 7th, after facing just a full batters, faces 3, gives up 2 runs. Bradley will pull the young freshman, and Illinois State is 4 runs away from getting back onto the 10-run rule.
Well, we got another football score, don't we?
But it's always been high scoring, it seems, at Dozer Park this year. Haven't had many low scoring. I think the lowest we've had was that SIU E-ball game, which Bradley held on 5-4.
Bradley tonight will recognize and have a banquet with their football alums, unbeaten since 1970.
And probably never going to be beaten again. I mean, we're just that good, Dave. What can we say?
That'll be a fun night to reminisce the football days.
I remember taking not good in the back, but I remember when I first came to Bradley as an enrolling freshman, and the first thing I saw in the Bradley bookstore was a Bradley football undefeated t-shirt. It's one of the more popular items for
They do sell them, that's for sure.
incoming freshmen.
Yeah, a lot of NFL players come from here.
We even had some that played for the basketball team.
We did. We have one. And he's working for the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been for a long time, and Marcus Pollard. Went from the basketball floor to the NFL and caught passes from Peyton Manning.
Doesn't happen often, especially in the Valley. I mean, you do have some football powers, but
Bradley had a player that, if it weren't for his concussion issues, Deshaun Henry, who was a
could have played safety.
grad student, he could have been a tight end. Great hands, great body.
I believe that I was talking to the strength and conditioning coach for Bradley, Eddie Pappas, one day, and he was going on about how Deshaun had was the NBA Combine bench press. He repped out well over 30. And which, if anybody knows, Kevin Durant couldn't do 5. And so that was the big knock on him, too. That's the big joke that Sean Henry could do that many. But he also runs like a 4.5 40. He's got great bounce, north of a 40-inch vertical. I mean, talk about an athlete that was in it. But like you said, Dave, concussions just kind of caught up with him.
Yeah, concussions and football don't go well together. So we'll see what Marks can do here.
Yeah, he looks to completed his warm-up pitches and has settled in. So it looks like we may have our first pinch hitter. Yes, this will be Flores for Illinois State. Adrian Flores, he is a catch. This one shot over to third, back to second. There's one, back to first. There's two. So the Bradley Braves turn the double play, but still want to get in Mr. Flores' bio. He is a junior from Santa Cruz, California, by way of Cabrillo College. He didn't see many pitches and grounds into the double play. Nobody on and 2 out here for Marks.
So we'll see who catches in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Next one skips away that time from J.P. Gaither. Pierre, Wisconsin. Marks reloads. This one swung on, shot back to Marks. Get him a gold glove, throw to first. And that will be the top of the 7th. Bradley will try and claw back the 2 runs that they gave up. We'll be right back after a short break. You're watching The Valley on ESPN. Downtown Peoria, Illinois. As Illinois State currently leads their I-74 rivals 13-7. Fresh off of putting up 2 runs in the last offensive sequence. Dave, last time out, Bradley put up 6 runs. They would take something similar here. Now we cut the deficit to 1.
Just got to have 1 hit at a time, what Illinois State has done in this game, and Bradley did it in the 6th inning, was just keep the line moving.
We'll be up to Huseman to start things off here for Bradley. He's in right field today. Seen a couple of them sail towards him this afternoon in the field. He'll check his swing. That one finds the zone anyhow. It's now 0-1. Huseman day. So he has took his 3rd at-bat. Come across the score once. Struck out 1 time up. Let's have a walk. And flew out his last time up. This one runs inside, clips him. He's not too happy about that. He'll walk to first. So Chadwick had a wild pitch laden last half inning, and he comes out here and tags the first batter he sees.
The 2nd time that Carson has been hit.
Ooh, and I caught him just under the armpit. Not a lot of padding there, just straight rib cage.
Well, leadoff man on.
That'll bring up Chatterton. Watches strike 1 go by. Chatterton today has come across the score as a hit with an RBI. He's also walked and struck out. So he's been just about every outcome you can have as a batter. So the next one skips in the dirt. 4-1.
Chatterton can play all over the place.
Saw him in the left just a couple days ago and made a couple Sports Center caliber catches. He fans at 1 and misses, so it's now 1-2. And Chadwick in his 2nd inning of work. Once low 2-2, he came in relief. Salata, who pitched a gem of a game. Just roughly 6 innings, threw over 100 pitches. Gave up just the 1 earned run. This one swung on, popped up in the air. Infield will have a chance at it. And ranging over and dropping it. This will go down fair, and this will be a force out at second, so an unlucky break there for Bradley.
You wouldn't expect that he would drop that, but I think the wind affected that a little bit.
It's the 2nd one of those we've seen, so Robinson tried to make the catch. You can see him ranging over, and it just caught the left side of his glove, danced out, but luckily it wasn't too far away from the second base bag. And Houston will be sent back to the dugout.
probably the second baseman's ball there, but the wind took it over to the left.
1-0 coming from Chadwick. This one shot foul. It's now 1-1. This is Adam Bryan, the first baseman. At the plate, he struck out twice so far today. Again, this game originally started at 11. Just after, excuse me, and it's now starting with 1:30 in the afternoon. We've seen a lot of offense today. This one grounded through the hole. Runner will around second and head to third. So runners on the corners for the Braves.
If you like offensive baseball, you got it.
Fans of the pitch clock, turn your eyes away. You're not going to have many quick games. Scoreline of 13-7.
Good job done by Marks in the last inning. Got out of the jam.
Sets Bradley up with a chance to claw some of the runs they gave up in that last half inning. They cut the deficit to 4. Maybe you think Bradley, a couple hits and a long ball, which we haven't seen yet today, gets them back into it, but only trailing by 6. So runner on first and third with 1 down, and this will bring up TJ Manteuffel. He'll crack at the first one he sees, and it's 0-1. Manteuffel was essentially an everyday starter there for the beginning portion of the season. Struggled to hit the ball the last couple of weeks, so they decided to bring him off the bench at times. And one spiked away. This will bring a run across and advance the runner all the way to second. So Chatterton scores. It's now 13-8.
That's his second wild pitch that's forced in a run since he's been in. So Chadwick finding the wild pitch, jumping up and biting it. Manteuffel is hitting .220. He has 6 home runs, so he's got some pop.
Home run here would claw it to 3. Well, I'm sure they're just looking to keep the line moving. This one swung on, fouled back again, 1-2. If Manteuffel reaches safely, that would bring up Cole Lucky. Take another look at it. That went just in front of the glove, not much that Strum can do behind the plate with that. One's high, now 2-2.
I would imagine Illinois State's going to get their bullpen busy again.
Each team's danced around with some arms. Off to the side. Again, it's exposed bullpens here at Dozer Park. And the 2-2. Chopped behind the plate. Foul ball. Runner in scoring position on second. That is Adam Bryan. Again, he's typically catcher by trade. Playing first today for the injured not Logan Delgado, but Connor O'Brien, 2-2 to Manteuffel. Swung on, grounded foul off of his leg, so that didn't feel great.
It's amazing how many times that happens. And especially the big league guys that wear the shin guards. Doesn't matter. It always finds a place.
Especially behind the plate catchers, typically some of the most plagued by the ricochets. It always amazes me, Dave, for as much as padding as they have out there at batters at times. Always seems to find, like you said, that one little crease or that one angle when you're not expecting it. It catches you in a soft spot or sometimes a not so soft spot.
Jason Hartick dusting off the plate and giving him a little time to settle in.
2-2 to Manteuffel. Swung on. Trying to clear the infield, ranging out and making the catch. So now there's 2 down. Yeah, Manteuffel is retired. Runner did not tag, was not nearly deep enough. So 2 down and still a runner on second as Lucky will come up.
So 2 down.
This one swung on, passed it through, it finds a hole. Bryan will round third play to the plate, not in time. It's 13-9, Bradley's back within 4.
Lucky's been lucky here.
So bring up
His second hit.
Bring up Cal McGinnis. Man who's walked twice, come across twice to score, has a hit, has not struck out yet today. He's got a runner on first. He's going to try and make this game interesting and cut it to 3. Hands at the first one, 0-1. Just a wild game here this afternoon, Dave. I mean, how many times have we thought maybe it's over, come back, maybe it's over again? And the 0-1. One runs inside. It's now an even count.
Pitcher we didn't think we'd ever see today is Connor Langro.
Yeah.
He might play a role in this hit.
Still a couple of innings of work. Bradley's done themselves a favor by having that 6-run inning earlier. It's now 1-2 on the swing and miss to McGinnis. But the biggest thing for Bradley is they have to find a scoreless inning. They've only pitched 2 of them today. 1-2. And a little half swing out to left field. And it's into the corner. And that will be out number 3, hidden away from our cameras. That will be the 3rd out. So we'll head to the top of the 8th. Bradley claws back to within 4. They're starting to set the table for what could be a comeback. Redbirds over the Braves, 13-9. Welcome back to Dozer Park in downtown Peoria. New man on the mound for Bradley. Corson will try and find a way to navigate a scoreless inning, something Bradley's had trouble doing today. Only 2 of them. Illinois State's had 4. And Dave, like we said, look at the scoreboard. It's 13-9. It hasn't necessarily been all bad pitching. Some of it's been really good hitting.
It has been for both teams. Corson, this is his 5th appearance, all in relief. 10.38 ERA. He's only pitched 4 1/3. Giving up 19 runs, 17 of them earned. Strike to walk is negative. He has 6 strikeouts. And actually he has no strikeouts and 2 walks. So it's limited time. He's given up 2 home runs. So he'll try to put a 0 on the board for Bradley, and Illinois State, they'll be digging in again.
Freshman from Champaign, Illinois. 6'2", 180-pound freshman. First pitch is outside, 1-0.
He's a long, lanky young man.
We said Bradley, multitude of young arms. This one fouled back, 1-1, and a tweak of the ankle there. Didn't look like Lawrence was in all that much comfort. He's trying to stretch it out and Bart will dust off home plate. Give him just a couple seconds to catch his breath.
Home plate probably didn't need to be wiped off, but catchers take care of the umpires. Umpires take care of the catchers.
And he may need a little more attention than that. His coaching staff will come out and see how he's feeling. And it was an immediate reaction when he planted and turned. You could tell the grimace on his face. And it appears he wants to finish the at-bat.
His father is this right-hander's son of Ryan Barnhart, play-by-play voice of the Fighting Illini.
Very well known in the area.
Terrific broadcaster. Very good.
Of course, the Braves will see the Illini pretty darn soon. Coming up 25th, and I'm sure that leg doesn't feel good now if it didn't before. Runs in and almost catches him on the knee, so hit by pitch is how the Redbirds will start this half inning.
Where may have been watching today?
He is. Hello, we'll see you soon, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see you at Dozer again on the 25th when the Illini come to town for the comeback game for what initially was supposed to be a meeting in Peoria, but due to weather, Bradley had to move that game to Champaign. Braves and Illini swapped the dates on the calendar, so now Illinois will come to Peoria. Again, just not a great feeling anytime. We were just talking about it when it runs in like that and catches you. But it'll be Shy Robinson. Back to the top of the order. Shows bunt. Outside.
Robinson's really showed us all a part of his game today. He's been very patient at the plate and hit his first home run of the season.
Of his career.
Of his career, yep.
2-0. That one's in the zone for strike one. Again, Bradley has not thrown an upperclassman arm out onto the mound today. They started with Kisting, who was a sophomore. Then they went to Harris, who was a freshman. Marks. Now they've come to Corson, who's a freshman as well. The 2-1. Go back to first. Not in time. And just been some close plays here and there for Bradley. Again, like you said, Dave, the play of the game has to be the grand slam. Look at the scoreboard.
That's the difference in the game.
Runner will go. Shot over to third and through for a base hit. So, don't know if it was a strategic hit and run, but regardless, runners on first and second here for Illinois State.
So Robinson on base again. I think he's a terrific prototype leadoff hitter.
I mean, he's done just about anything you could ask of him today. He's got the home run. He has 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 RBIs. He's just done it all today. And this will bring up the center fielder, Rasmussen. Corson delivers, and that one finds the zone for strike one. Just been a quality day for the Illinois State lineup. I mean, you look up and down, but the only knock you can put on them today is that they've left 10 stranded on the bags, but you counter with that, Bradley's left 6. And the 0-1. Swan tattooed. Going out to left. Gone again. Illinois State will take another trip around the bags. This time, it's a 3-run shot for Rasmussen, the center fielder. They've done it and hit it just about every part of the ballpark today, Dave. They hit it to right. They've come close to hitting one out to center, and now another one to left.
Well, the hit by pitch scores. And then Robinson, who got on base, and then Rasmussen, who hits his 5th home run of the year. And all of a sudden, they're 3 on the board again.
Still nobody out here in the top of the 8th. As Corson gives up the 3-run shot. Dave, I don't think either of us would have predicted a 25-run combined game today.
No, and really these home runs have not been affected by the wind that much.
No,
They've been
clearing the
legitimate
concourse.
home runs. And look at it blow. It's blowing out.
Now 3-0. So now 3-0 to Corson, from Corson, excuse me. Kubo in the box. He's up at the dish for the 6th time today, and he'll stare out a 4-pitch walk. Ooh, they'll call him back. Just caught the edge of the zone. Bradley had one called on them earlier. Resulted in a strikeout. This time, Kubo.
He thought that was ball 4.
Swings at this one, fouls it back, 3-2.
If this game were closer, that would have
Been a bigger play.
it would have got some noise from the Redbird dugout.
And the 3-2. That one is away, and he will get to take his walk to first. So Bradley still looking to record an out here in the 8th.
You know, Kubo, Kubo is from Waupuhu, Hawaii. I actually have been there.
What's it like? I imagine it's much like the rest of Hawaii. Pretty nice.
It's gorgeous. I had some friends that lived there and stayed with them for about a week.
I think if we had a running tally when in my family we were kids and we would try to take a family vacation to each state, I know Hawaii wasn't the one, but I think it was all said and done, we recorded trips to 34 different states.
Actually, the gentleman that I stayed with was older.
This one sharply shot out towards left and ranging back in and making the catch is Lucky. So 1 down and 1 on for Illinois State, and that is the first time that Bradley has gotten Pasella out.
He has been all over the place.
He's had 5 plate appearances, now they make it 6, but he has 3 hits. He's drawn the walk, has 2 home runs, has come across the score 4 times, has 5 RBIs.
Yeah, he doubled his home run total.
Take a look at Kubo, and that one will be not quite wild enough to advance him to second. So again, Bradley just trying to find a way to navigate the 8th here.
Anyway, I stayed with this gentleman, and he was old enough that he saw the planes go over on D-Day, or on Pearl Harbor.
Huh. That is a,
Pretty scary.
yeah. It's not like 1-1 to Corson. Well, Dave, you've always told me about all the incredible stories you have. You've been to Alaska, obviously. It was some of your first games you ever did with Bradley for men's basketball. Of course, you call essentially every game. Missed your first road game in your career this last year.
Broken kneecap kept me from flying to that one. So we did that one like we're doing.
From the bullpen.
From the bullpen. It was a long night.
What's
They
your?
were very good.
You're well over 1,000 now, aren't you? For
Oh, I'm almost at 1,400 here. Pitch low.
yeah, 3-1 now.
It's been great. It's been, it's the people that you meet.
You see, Delgado may be thinking about throwing back over to first. Kubo close. He'll run here. This one shot into left. And making the catch was Lucky. Looked like for a second there the wind might carry it out. And instead, it's 2 down.
He just missed it. I think he'd be in my lineup in every game and be a cleanup hitter.
So 2 down, 1 on here. Let's bring up Nichols. He's got 3 hits today, 2 RBIs and a walk. He's had a productive afternoon. Runs inside. And getting the sign from third base coach. And Corson looking for that 3rd out to bring his offense back up in the bottom of the 8th. One just misses, 2-0. It's been a high-scoring afternoon here in Peoria. Again, if you're just joining us, Illinois State has hammered quite a few out of the field of play today. As Corson fires. This one fouled back. Scoring line goes 3 in the second for ISU, each team with 1 in the third. Illinois State scored a combined 7 between the 4th and 5th. Bradley answered with 6th in the bottom of the 6th. And then each team scored 2 in the 7th, and now 3 on the board for Illinois State in the 8th. Two-one, chopped back over towards the hole, trying to have to hustle to first, and there's out number 3. Good play by Brian to scoop it and scoot over to first. So we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning with Illinois State out in front by 7, 16-9. This is the Valley on ESPN. And the new arm on the mound for Illinois State is number 41, Colton Cherbensky, 6'2", 210-pound right-hander. He's a senior from Rapid City, South Dakota by way of Charlotte. So he will get the nod to come out. Try and close out the 8th inning for Bradley. Turn it back to them in the top of the 9th.
This is his 5th appearance, all in relief. 0-1 is his record, 6.25. Only pitched to 5 1/3. And allowed 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts and a walk, giving up 3 doubles and 1 home run on the season. And he will work the bottom of the 8th.
You see again Colton Trubinsky, the Rapid City, South Dakota native. And he comes to Illinois State from Charlotte. Here's he's ready to roll, and so are the Bradley Braves. As Ryan Vogel in the top of the order will come out and try and get things started.
You been to Rapid City?
I've been up and around that neighborhood, yeah. I've made quite a few trips up to Vermillion, being from southwest Iowa. Go up there quite a bit. Sioux City, Iowa isn't overly far from that little junction. So now it's 0-1 to Ryan Vogel. How about you, Dave? Make many trips up to South Dakota?
I have been there. In addition to the Bradley's game against South Dakota State, my parents lived in Gillette, Wyoming. So we went to the Faces, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower.
Yes. For sure.
Close Encounters, Third Kind.
So now 1-2 to Vogel. Yeah.
Beautiful country.
Oh, for sure. Winter there. Unforgivable.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Haven't been to Sturgis, though.
Never been to Sturgis.
Well, I've been through it.
Okay.
Not for the...
Not for the motorcycles.
No.
Big Sturgis contingency down by Omaha. And the 1-2, grounded by Vogel, foul. But there's you can always tell it's about that time of year because that whole half of the state seems to tell everybody last one out of town, turn off the lights. 'Cause they all make it up there in a hurry. 1-2 to Ryan Vogel, the leadoff man here for Bradley in the 8th. And that'll run inside and plunk him. So it's been a pitching conundrum the back half of this ballgame.
Yep. Hit by pitches. We have a bunch of them here. I bet you we have 5. See if
That
we
one
can... One.
just got him on the rib cage, tucked underneath that elbow. So now Vogel will be on first with nobody out here in the 8th. And this will bring up Peter Hansen, who doubled his last time through. You'll watch first pitch go by, 4 ball. And Hansen wasn't originally a starter in today's game, came in as a position change for Mason Bradenbach, who was DHing, and that one runs inside and tight, 2-0.
That didn't miss his arm by much either.
So now 2-0 to the 2-hole hitter from Bradley. Does have an RBI so far today. This one swung on, similar spot as his double earlier towards center field. Reined in for out number 1, that's Rasmussen. No tag from Vogel.
Well, the wind didn't help that, and you would have thought that it might have. He just got under it a little bit. Nice play by Rasmussen, who's had quite a day.
That whole outfield for Illinois State, Sella, Rasmussen, Gaither, they have left their fingerprints all over this one.
Delgado, a triple here today.
It's not often you see your catcher lay out a triple. He'll start out his count 0-1.
Tripled in the 6th inning.
You see Ryan Vogel again. He's threat to steal second. I doubt you'd see that at this point in the ball game. This one swung on, and it's a blue pit. Just leaves the infield, so Vogel will go to second, and now Delgado to first, so 2 on and 1 out, and that will bring up Jackson Chatterton.
You know, you never know if Connor O'Brien were in this game and healthy.
That's the story. We came in today not knowing what his situation would be. Noticed that he was absent from the initial starting lineup, and so you have to assume now. For the
Didn't play in the Iowa game the other night either.
Misses his 2nd straight game. That one tight and inside. That's ball 1, and it's Huseman.
He was one to get hit by a pitch last time up there.
Starts his count out 1-0. and he's working with 2 on and 1 down. Bradley's never really been able to get closer than 4. That'll be a ball as well, so 2-0. And both these teams, Dave, these last couple half innings, they've just been swapping little 2-run, 1-run, 3-run innings. We've seen a combined, I believe, 7 scoreless.
We're working on 3 hours coming up.
That one dances away, and that will not be enough to move anybody up. So 3-0, and I'm sure Houston will be taking all the way.
This game started at 11:02 Central Time.
It's just now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The Chiefs do have to play today.
3 o'clock is the cutoff point.
They may take all of that at this rate. 3-1. What do you think, Dave? Will I see you at the Chiefs game this afternoon?
No, I have a banquet to MC this evening.
Yes. Healthy hack at the next one, and Houston's now down 3-2. Said football players from Bradley's past. They played up at Peoria Stadium, if I remember right.
They did.
It's one of the more memorable sports landmarks in the city of Peoria, the 3-2. Fanned on and missed for strike 2, so Houston will head back to the dugout. But touching on that, Peoria Stadium was once upon a time the home for Bradley football, but currently serves as the home for a number of local Peoria high schools.
Yeah. And they had some renovations done to that facility.
Brought in a new scoreboard, they're putting in new grandstands and redoing the track. Chatterton up next for Bradley. Watches pitch 1 go by. It's now 1-0. So Illinois State and Bradley again, they'll play 2 more this weekend. They'll play 1 tomorrow at 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday as Chatterton tries to get a hold of the second one he sees. It's now an even count.
He had a hit earlier in that 5-run 6th inning.
1-1. Doesn't quite find the edge. 2-1 now. As Sherbensky, again, this is his first inning of work. 2-1. This one fouled off 2-2, so he's a strike from stranding 2 on first and second. And there you see just the clouds continue to dance around Dozer Park. It's been a patchy day for some sunlight. It's incredibly dark, and then all of a sudden, the sun likes to come back out. Surprises, that one fanned on and missed. So Sherbensky gets the strikeout, and we will head to the top of the 9th with Illinois State hugging comfortably to a 16-9 edge over Bradley. You're watching The Valley on ESPN. In Peoria, Illinois, the Redbirds currently lead their I-74 rivals 16-9 in what has been a fireworks show this afternoon as Corson retake the mound for the Braves. Illinois State will be up for their last half inning of work. This evening, Corson's gathering up some more warm-up pitches. He, for his first inning of work back in the 8th. At this point, 26 pitches, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned, and has walked 1. And the 7 batters he has faced, this will be number 8. And there you see the youngsters continue to enjoy what we presume to be their day off from school. A little sunbathing, and hoping to maybe get lucky and get a foul ball over there.
Yeah, the schools don't let out in April.
Yeah, and definitely didn't back where I was from. You see just some more of the fans. Some of them, I'm sure, maybe entering and sticking around for the Chiefs game this afternoon.
I think those were Redbird fans.
All the more reason.
There are a number of them here.
Just a quick 40-minute drive between Normal and Peoria. As Corson fires in strike 1 here to open the 9th. He will take on number 26 for Illinois State. This is the new catcher into the ball game in Swarmer.
They got some speed guns going behind the plate just to the right over the ahead of the batter.
So 1-1 now to Swarmer.
Good ball.
And that'll be outside. Swarmer comes in after a couple of position changes. Flores came in earlier today as a pinch hitter, and that caused some reshuffling of the Illinois State lineup. This one struck, fielded over by Chatterton, fired back to first, and there will be out number one. This will bring up J.P. Gaither.
I think everybody, one of their players has got a hit except. All right. Good. Across.
Not been many. So Gauthier up at the dish here for Illinois State. And in right field today, one of the number of outfielders busy for the Redbirds. This one swung on and hacked foul. So Gauthier in a 1-1 count. Again, just a gorgeous day for baseball at Dozer Park. See some of the Bradley fans behind their dugout. The student athletes are making the trip out as well. That one dances away, 2-1. Gauthier trying to work here against the freshman. Has got himself a 2-1 count. And we touched on Corson and his relations to Illinois and that of the major sports in the area. As Gauthier, with a 3-1 count, could take a trot to first. Maybe he'll let this one go in a 16-9 game. He'll hack at that one. 3-2 now to count. So Corson in his second inning of work. Came out, gave up 3 in the 8th. At one point, Bradley was within 4 a couple of times, but Illinois State's always just had that big hit to follow it up, and there will be a walk to put Gauthier on first. So this will bring up Lawrence, the third baseman. He'll come to the plate for the 5th time today. Got eaten up earlier in the game by a lofting infield single that got hidden by the sun, and he just misplayed it. It came across to score the first Bradley run of the game. That one's inside, 1-0.
If he gets on base, Robinson will be at the plate for the 6th time, 7th time.
Don't see that often, especially in the college game today. 1-0. Spiked into the dirt. The runner was going anyway, and he's safely at second. So they will give that a passed ball. And Corson got the man on second and 1 down. Action in Bradley's bullpen, just in case it's needed. Corson takes a glance. Back over to Gauthier. This one swung on by Lawrence to center field by Vogel. Continuing to move back, and no tag coming from Gauthier. I'll bring up 2 down now for Illinois State in the top of the 9th, and Bradley's just 1 out away from having their last chance.
Walk, home run, fly out, base on balls, fly out, single scored.
Been a busy day for that young man. So runner on second, 2 down. Quick glance back. Breaking ball towards the top of the zone is in for strike 1. Like you said, Dave, he has had a multitude of trips to the plate, this being his 7th. And the record book only goes down as 5 as of right now because of the walks that he had earlier in the contest. This one swung on, shot again towards the outfield, and it is caught by Vogel. Don't tell him it's a 16-9 game as Ryan Vogel gets the uniform dirty to send us to the bottom of the ninth. It's 16-9. Illinois State out in front of Bradley. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Bottom of the ninth, last half inning coming up here in Peoria at Dozer Park. Illinois State out in front 16-9. And Sherbensky will come back up on the hill. For Illinois State, he will face Adam Bryant, who is the mock first baseman today. First pitch, finds that zone for strike one.
Shalata's going to get the win, and it'll be 0-6
For Kisting.
Jacob Kisting.
0-1. That is outside 1-1. Again, this game, first pitch, just after 11 o'clock. It's now almost 2:10 in the afternoon. I'm sure they're thinking right about now that it was a good thing they started to go at 11, Dave, because we said Chiefs play this afternoon and can't really bump that much further than they have.
Yeah, this game would have been called if it started at noon.
And the 1-2 shot back and right over to short. That's Robinson. Shy Robinson makes a play in the field, so one down. I mean, what else hasn't he done today, Dave? I mean, he's hit the ball well out of the park. He's run the bases well. He's drawn walks. I mean, there's nothing more we can say about the kid.
And Vogel's catch in the last inning was just typical of his career. Doesn't matter what the score is, he just goes and gets it.
Next pitch is going to be 1-0. As Michael Milot in the game here, takes a hack, sends it out to left, not quite deep enough, but it'll push him just in front of the warning track, is Pasella. So now there's 2 down. Milot, last home series for Bradley, hit a couple homers against Valparaiso. And so this will bring up Cole Lucky. He's got 2 hits, 2 RBIs, struck out, came across to score. And here's strike one. Bradley down to their final out. They will try and regroup for tomorrow at 11 o'clock again against Illinois State. That one's low under 1-1. I think he was smart on Bradley's end, Dave. Sure, they had their moments down 4 in this game. They could have tried throwing the bullpen at it, but gauging where the bats were. As this one is Lucky sailing out to center. There is out number 3. So Illinois State comes into Peoria and Dozer Park and takes game 1 of a 3-game series between these two I-74 rivals. The final score in game 1, 16-9 by way of the Redbirds. Dave, your closing game thoughts?
Well, it was over quickly and in this game, but to Bradley's credit, they came back and never could get within 4. They had the runner in scoring position that could have made it 3, or the home run made it 2. But just too much Illinois State here today in their offense. When you get 16 hits and Bradley's 3 errors and they capitalized on those, sets up tomorrow a chance for either Bradley to get even or Illinois State to win the series. And once again, it'll be at 11 a.m.
You said it, Dave. We'll be back at it tomorrow from 11 a.m. But for everybody, a part of our Chef Tech production, for Jonathan Michael Chass, Messenger Sean Goldring, and Drew Johnson, thank you for tuning in to this presentation of The Valley on ESPN.